Et on dit hello YouTube. C'est nous. C'est nous. C'est nous les requins. On est reparti, on continue notre aventure, on est de se raser. On devait aller se coucher parce qu'on a envoyé Kim aller se coucher. Je pourrais bientôt je pourrais faire du karaoké. C'est l'un des trucs qu'il faut que je fasse. Je pense que je vais aller me coucher. Et 21h15, on a des trucs à faire ou pas? Le truc c'est que... Le truc c'est que je sais pas trop qu'est-ce qu'on pourrait faire en fait. Tout seul. On n'a pas 8000 trucs à faire quoi.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you.
Comment on
You
appelle ça?
mean Reese Pooley? Yeah, I do, but
Tu vas pouvoir vous en occuper, c'est important, je vais être en mesure de pouvoir écouter cet enregistrement à
but
quelqu'un.
I'm not some Mr. Fix-It. I'm a pawnbroker. If you want to pawn the tape, sure. Although it looks pretty worthless.
Si on vous mettez de la pellicule à longueur de temps, c'est pas la même chose. Son intérêt, c'est pas son intérêt. Il pourrait s'agir d'une véritable révolution pour la scène dance du coin.
Huh? What do you mean?
Vous connaissez une vieille église sur la côte?
Yes. What about it?
J'ai rencontré de jeunes fêtards pas très loin. Ils veulent transformer l'église en boîte de nuit pour y jouer leur musique disco bizarre. Je leur ai promis de les aider.
Is it any good? The music, I mean.
Non, c'est ça le truc. Vous n'avez pas idée à quel point le rythme est aigu. Il n'y a aucune basse, juste ce son bzz bzz bzz. Mais cette bande pourrait rendre ça plus hardcore.
Man, you're really invested in this.
Il regarde la bande emmêlée posée devant lui. Elle scintille sous le balai éblouissant.
Okay, I'll help you out. It's going to take a moment, though, so just sit back.
You take some time to look around the store. The play of visuals all around the pawn shop is mesmerizing. Suddenly, Roy turns back to you with a reel of tape in his hand and coughs.
Ça dure au moins 15 minutes. Merci pour votre aide. On va pas ouais, c'est bon, on va pas en plus de dire ah, t'étais rapide, mec. Hein. T'as été long, mec. Hein.
Yeah, my pleasure. I do what I can for true passion projects. Just try not to use this tape for negative photon emissions. Take responsibility. Okay. Sure. Let me have a look.
J'ai la photo fascinante d'un cadavre avec moi. Non, non.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Ah, je pourrais lui vendre des trucs. Ah, une bobine vine, tu peux lui vendre. Carte postale, je peux les vendre. Non, 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 non. Je peux...
Another time, perhaps.
Appuie trop vite. J'ai vendu mon dé. Mais non, je voulais pas vendre mon dé.
The boomboxes wait on the shelves, and you're
And here you are. Quality sound reproduction.
Ah oui, d'accord.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing. It sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you out the tiniest church in Sessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad. Within seconds you know, this is the one, the real shit you've been looking for. The one you trust your room to that Claudia told you about. Perform it. A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning. Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And you already know the lyrics since you've listened to it. Like,
Le karaoké de la dépression, mec.
yep, they're all here. All 3 verses. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one obstacle stands on your way.
De quoi?
Gart. You have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. Immediately, the boombox tunes itself back.
Ok. On va convaincre Gart, allez. Putain, j'ai jeté mes dés sans le vouloir. Mes dés porte-bonheur, là. J'ai fait clic. C'est vrai que je pourrais faire un rollback, mais bon. C'est pas marrant. On va pas s'amuser à rollback, c'est le but. On fait une erreur, on fait une erreur.
Hey, was there something? No, you don't. It's not happening.
He tries not to look at you. It's dangerous to acknowledge the karaoke man. You need to approach this situation logically. Ask him why he has the PA system installed if you can't use it.
Toi, avoir installé une sonneuse, personne ne peut s'en servir.
It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44.
C'est passé quoi en 44?
A lot of people got killed because some arsehole wanted to sing karaoke.
Quoi? Ça remonte à quand la dernière fois qu'un groupe a joué ici?
It's not for bands, it's for clients. Some clients, okay? Not you.
Je suis un vrai client, j'ai une manette et je suis en train d'utiliser karaoké.
Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got stolen.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? J'ai apporté ma propre chanson.
The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape you've just given.
Fine, fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my hair.
I'm having it uninstalled, he mumbles to himself.
Comme une sauvegarde de cas où ça me fasse décéder. Ils sont bien à ma place ici. J'ai un pour la mise en scène, bien sûr, c'est la mise en scène là. Ah, c'est le moment mise en scène.
The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets
C'est le
creep
moment.
under your feet.
Karaoké.
You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly.
So, are you ready for your thing now?
Voilà, art dramatique.
Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Ouais, c'est parti.
The air is thick.
Quoi?
One dims the lights as the music starts. A lump's in your throat suddenly.
83%, j'ai raté, vraiment.
I would often go there to the tiny church there,
Aïe, 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 aïe.
the smallest church in Sanson.
Aïe, aïe.
Though it once was larger. How the real may rest there. Down through the mist there. Towards the seven sisters. Towards those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there. In the tiny yard there. I have been so glad here.
Aïe aïe aïe.
Looking forward to the past here.
Aïe 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 aïe.
But now you're all alone.
Aïe 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 aïe.
None of this matters.
Moi aussi je pleurais.
And all.
C'était tellement dégueulasse. Je me souviens dans cet endroit, dans cette minuscule église-là, la petite église de Saint-Saya, même si jadis grande était son aura. Un jour, le ruisseau se reposera, dans la brume il s'endormira. Après, auprès des 7 sœurs, cette falaise blafarde il admirera. Je resterai souvent là-bas, dans la petite cour en contrebas. À la recherche de mon passé, je demeurerai béat. Mais aujourd'hui, il n'y a que toi, alors tout ceci
Do you
n'importe pas.
hear that? It's the most pathetic applause in the world, Harry, made of pity. No one liked you. Your words echo in the karaoke mic.
Quit yelling into the mic!
Someone walks out of the room by the front door. Some woman. Is it because of you?
That's it. I'm on.
That's it.
Non, attendez. C'est le moment où je m'autorise une quick save. Je veux réussir à chanter ça. Faut de l'art dramatique. Non. J'ai un autre en art dramatique là. Voilà.
The state, you feel
So, are you ready?
La 92 au moment là. Ah voilà.
someone dims the lights as the music starts. Okay, here we go.
Ouais. C'est le plus important. Moi je pense que peu importe si je ne résous pas cette affaire, j'aurais fait du karaoké. À toi Harry.
I would often go there
C'est plus la même voix. Hein.
to the tiny church there. The smallest church in San. Though it once was larger. How the real may rest there.
Le nouveau Johnny Cash.
Down through the mist there. Toward the seven sisters. Toward those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there. In that tiny yard there. I have been so glad here. Looking forward to the past here. But now, you None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
Ouais! Ouais, Harry, ouais!
A lazy applause fills the room. You feel your hands shake as awareness of your body returns to you.
Merci, cerveau reptilien primitif. Je voudrais dédier cette chanson à la personne ayant écrit cette putain de lettre. Je l'aime toujours. Merci beaucoup, Salon Fleur. J'aimerais dédier cette chanson à mon coéquipier Kim, même s'il n'est pas présent avec nous. J'aimerais casser cette chanson à Gart. Pour me laisser le droit de chanter. Quelle merde, Gart. J'aimerais dédier cette chanson à Contact Mike. Pour tous les autres, vous êtes des nazes. J'aimerais dédier cette chanson à la MCR. S'il vous plaît, ne me virez pas. J'aimerais dédier cette chanson à personne. Je chante pour moi-même. Je chante pour moi-même.
The microphone amplifies your voice in an uncomfortable.
Good, good. Are we ready? I want to unplug.
Last words?
Prenez votre flingue digital, faire mine de tirer en l'air et quitter les lieux. Je suis obligé. Je suis obligé. La nuit viendra où nous aussi serons la grande voile. Travailleurs du monde entier. Unissez-vous. Avec le poing en l'air comme ça. Ouais. Alors ça a rien changé à ma vie, hein. C'est juste que voilà. Ça me revient quoi. Vas-y, il faut y taper après 21h apparemment.
Door is closed. Still nothing.
Ouais. Mais c'est pas une quête? Frapper ici après 21h? Non, je croyais. Eh bien. Rentrons. On fera tout le reste avec Kim, je pense. Je pense qu'on fera tout le reste avec Kim. Hop, un petit appart gratuit.
It's getting.
Parce qu'en vrai, j'ai vraiment rien d'autre à faire de nuit tout seul là. Là, faut que je la rappelle, elle m'a dit. Donc on la rappellera là. Ça, bah ça. Non, en vrai, on peut se coucher, je pense.
The bed is comfort.
Écoutons notre cerveau.
Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark.
Belle musique en
You're
tout cas.
one
Cerveau reptilien.
fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around.
Recorded in you forever on Faraday.
qui tourne pour l'éternité.
On and on it goes, for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time,
Très
the
énigmatique.
last time. The smoke in her mouth. The plotted flowers. The faces turning, changing.
Mais qu'est-ce que c'est?
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
Les couleurs et les voix.
All stuck on loop. Whirling, spitting out words in it.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keeps.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
Mais c'est exact, je suis un agent du monde. Et si je veux être un agent de rien? Non, je veux pas être un agent de rien.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
For the working class.
Exactement.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
Je construis le communisme pour tous. Cette fois-ci, nous n'échouerons pas.
There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world changing around him.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Pourquoi?
'Cause only love can break your heart. Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
Ah bah non, je me suis couché tôt, hein.
Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time. Rise and shine, comrade. It's time to get to work.
Que se passe-t-il?
Despite all the thinking you've been doing, only 0.0001% of communism has been built. It's too great a task to undertake alone. You're going to have to get organized.
Ou est-ce que t'as vu que je faisais de la merde récemment? Je me suis repris en main. Je trouvais la cabane plutôt sympa et confortable. En régie l'état de mon registre, je pense que ça va être possible. Je suis prêt au travail.
It's good that your personal business is in order, but we're talking about political matters of you must seek out your revolutionary brothers and sisters. Find out how much communism they've built. Then, together, maybe you'll be able to build as much as 0.0002% of communism.
C'est beaucoup, hein? C'est déjà un début.
But it won't be easy. Decades of persecution by coalition authorities have driven the remaining communists of Martinaise underground.
Mais je fais comment des... Je fais partie des autorités de la coalition. Est-ce que je persécute les communistes depuis tout ce temps?
Possibly. If you have been, it's only because you're a double agent acting in furtherance of your long-term
Ah ben bien
objectives.
sûr, bien sûr.
Listen to this. Do you really think you're the kind of person an underground communist cell would entrust with a mission that requires such discretion?
Non, je pense pas.
Regardless, what's past is past. You need to look forward to the work of building communism for all.
C'est les gens qui m'aideront à lancer ma grande foire à la saucisse de Mazo. Moi, je suis censé les
Let
retrouver.
your nose guide you,
On est
detective.
Tu veux seulement parler des connaissances de mon cerveau hyper parfaitement.
No, we meant your nose, as in that swollen muck detector in the center of your face. It just happens to be perfectly calibrated for sensing communists. We really have no idea what they're talking about. There's no linkage between ideology and olfaction.
J'adore. Quelle odeur d'un communiste. Ok, je suis prêt. Faisons place à l'organisation.
First, you'll have to locate the remaining communists in Martinez. When you get near to someone with revolutionary potential, your nose will give you the signal to establish contact.
Ok.
Again, no, it won't. Any olfactory response you perceive will be strictly psychosomatic. Judging from the bust of Krasmazov and other revolutionary paraphernalia you discovered, it seems that the Cape Side apartments may be a hotbed of communist activity.
Et je dis ce que je devrais faire une fois que j'aurai établi le contact avec mes compagnons communistes. Très bien, votre boulot. C'était la tâche.
You'll discuss the monumental world historical task that lies before you. You'll engage in rigorous and spirited debates about Mazovian theory and practice. But mostly, you'll probably complain about other communists.
C'est parti, c'est contre-productif quand même, non?
Not at all. Complaining about other communists is one of the most important parts of being a communist.
Mais quoi? Pas du tout, monsieur. Ouais, je me retrousse les manches. Allez, au boulot.
Here we go. Wake, brave worker. 'Tis no time for bed. Fight till there's no slaves below, and no masters o'erhead.
Et boum, nouvelle tâche. Faire preuve d'organisation. Arpenter les rues pour dénicher des camarades. Allez, c'est parti. Ah, Kim. Bonjour, Kim.
Yes?
Je me suis rasé.
Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps.
Ah, je sais que j'aurais pas dû me raser. Je le sais et pourtant je l'ai fait. Quel idiot.
No, it's okay, I guess. I may have preferred the mutton chops. They sort of seem to cover the.
Yeah, damage. He means damage.
Tu voulais faire plus jeune?
Either way, good on you. You were saying?
Vous pouvez rester immobile un instant. Essayez de renifler Kim.
The lieutenant's
Mais non, il l'a dit qu'il n'était pas communiste. Il l'a dit.
uncomfortable as you lean forward and sniff the area. The lieutenant is fastidious as a cat in matters of his personal upkeep. And yet, in the folds of his jacket, you can just perceive the stare. Wait. There's something else there. Something that sets your GABA receptors aflutter.
Mais GABA récepteur, qu'est-ce que c'est encore mes GABA récepteurs?
The lieutenant's aftershave, a common drugstore brand. Strong hints of. But what sort of ideological picture do these smells paint?
Il est pas communiste.
Do you need something, detective?
Vous êtes mécano. Vous n'êtes pas lieutenant, vous êtes mécano. Je le savais. Mais non, c'est juste qu'il aime bien les voitures, c'est tout. C'est une passion.
It's nothing fancy, just plain old Tiger super special. I do like the way it tingles though. It's the only part of shaving I actually look forward to. Was there something else you wish to discuss?
Non. Est-ce qu'elle est communiste? Elle vient du peuple.
Waves are beginning to die down.
Why does she care about the waves so much?
Pourquoi les vagues vous préoccupent tant?
What is it with waves and fishermen? We need to be out there with them, fishing, making a living. So I asked them to accommodate me. But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can. So, what will it be, officer?
Rien, c'est bon. Allons-y. On ici. Ça ira plus vite si on veut comme ça. Donc, on a 2-3 trucs à faire. Dans un premier temps...
Wait. No. Something about this bunch doesn't smell right.
Qu'est-ce que tu veux dire sur pas les types de vote?
They are, but they don't seem too keen to talk with you, do they?
Bah oui,
No,
tu sais.
they don't. Glenn seems to be contemplating grievous bodily harm while he massages his raw knuckles. In the far back, Eugene is doing his best to ignore you.
Pendant ce temps, Gus le trapu ne cesse de vous lancer des coups d'œil furtifs, de grommeler dans sa barbe, mal à l'aise.
And from his perch at the end of the table, Titus Hardy himself stares at you with a cold. Besides, you're pretty sure they consider themselves social democrats.
Ah, mais... ah vraiment, maintenant, je vais juger toutes les personnes que je croise. Allez. C'est le but. Faut que je m'organise. Gart.
Ah, smallest church in Saint-Saëns, right?
Patron du café attend que vous le fassiez d'avoir reconnu la chanson. Ouais, l'église fait partie de mon passé. C'est toute ma vie. Ouais, en fait, l'église, c'est mon amour, c'est moche ce qui lui arrive. J'ai assuré comme un dieu. Je vous avais dit que j'assurerais comme un dieu.
It was all right. Subdued. I might start letting people up there again. Now, what can I do for you?
Est-ce que toi, t'es communiste?
Boy, am I
Alors, dans le premier temps.
It's great to see you again,
Ouais.
officer. My wife can't wait to think you.
Ouais, non, mais je...
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
J'ai qu'à accomplir mon devoir, madame. C'est sur mon chemin de toute façon.
Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude.
Une cravate ficelle
It's a tie,
octo-oculaire. Attention.
Mexican origin. The pin is an antique, quite special.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand.
Crâne d'oiseau
It's
à
in the
8 yeux.
You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important. There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask.
Dites, pourriez m'en dire plus d'un, deux ou trois trucs cryptiques que vous étudiez?
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told,
One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza.
Cryptique... D'accord, Kim, juste un cryptide, c'est promis. Donc Cryptomania, ça me plaît comme nom.
And I don't.
Ooh, tough choice there.
Est-ce que c'est un oiseau cryptide? Montrez le reste qu'elle vous a offert.
no. It's the cryptid.
The cryptid? Oh my god, incredible!
Oh, yes.
Le petit crâne argenté brille entre vos doigts, son bec est acéré. D'accord. Et c'est quoi du coup cet oiseau?
The eight-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until...
Mutation? All of evolution is a mutation.
Jusqu'à ce que...
Until it was cited by renowned Gotvaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in 21.
This renown seems a bit dubious. Your own catalogue comes up completely empty. But, of course, you are not all-knowing.
Pas mal cette observation, je veux tout savoir.
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm.
Ok, c'est quoi juste Umrao? C'est une... Bah c'est un endroit dans le sud-est d'Ilmara. Du coup, il s'est passé quoi?
Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years. since the fall of Pericarnassus.
Ah oui, sous la chaleur écrasante. Ouais, ouais, retenons bien le sous la chaleur écrasante. Ouais, ouais.
He was lost, without any navigation equipment, and desperately low on water. After a day or two, he noticed a bird high in the noon sky. A great black bird. It seemed gargantuan. Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time Uva got there, the Teratorn had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean.
L'oiseau le
This
suivait.
happened many times. More like he followed it. A bird that big has many liters of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Ploppenkalk followed the Teratorn until they reached a great canyon wall, where the bird finally landed to rest. The professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with his head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on the perch. So he approached, slowly squeezed.
Watch out.
Then the Teratorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. And the man couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen into place with the rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird. Was controlling his mind.
Ah ouais, non mais carrément.
Kept him from approaching. He could step back, but every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Uva spent 3 days trying until the bird flew away.
Attends une minute, et comment il est sûr qu'il a bien fallu qu'il raconte cette histoire, non? C'est bon ça.
The 8-eyed Teratorn was indifferent to him, as long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps. It even let him feed on some carcasses up there, and the 2 unfertilized eggs it left behind.
Vous me faites marcher.
Yes way, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since, but Wamrao is vast, mysterious, and holds many secrets.
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one by the end of the decade, latest.
This one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to live, it also does mind control.
À qui il va se foutre de la gueule.
He's sincere. He likes the audacity of it.
Donc la dernière personne à l'avoir vu.
Sadly, yes. But there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Il Mara. And then there's the striking resemblance to the Pericarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that is hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes.
Not really. It's just stylization. The way they drew eyes. It's not a zoological drawing.
Very, very hard.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids. So, what else do you want to know?
Non.
Of course, dear.
Si à un moment on a envie, on peut lui en parler. Du coup, c'est quoi? C'est celle-là? Non. Ah, c'est là. Cravate, tu sais, ça me donne plus 1 en couranta et plus 1 en volonté. Du coup, c'est mieux que celle que j'ai. Une fine cravate ficelle est maintenue par une attache antique en forme de crâne d'oiseau. En outre, la boîte crânienne du dit volatile présente 8 cavités oculaires. Le résultat est troublant, mais vous n'arrivez pas à détourner les yeux. Donc, elle donne pas un moral.
Nothing like the gratitude of a good woman. Now then, what can I do for you?
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for
On s'en
some
fout, on a pas besoin de balancer
those
Gary.
traps.
J'ai vérifié tous les pièges.
Good. Okay. And?
L'un d'eux était vide.
Completely empty?
Oui, il n'y avait rien dans le piège, ni sauterelle ni phasmidé.
No locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal, but
Le piège vide est celui du camp. Peut-être qu'il faut prendre ce paramètre en compte.
I definitely left that one stocked.
Right from the campsite? Just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
She's engaging in a well-known self-deception called motivated reasoning. You should correct them.
Of course, more clever.
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps.
Another trip to the reeds.
Ce n'est pas très scientifique de raisonner à rebours à partir d'une conclusion qui n'est avérée que dans votre tête.
I appreciate your concern, officer, but please leave this to the experts. Unless you have an...
You're jabbing at the soft underbelly of his psyche. He realizes he's gotten defensive.
Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too. My gratitude, and the gratitude...
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened? Some kind of foul play might be
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but...
Affinité mécanique. J'ai pas un truc pour augmenter ça encore.
Hello, Lena and I was...
Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken. Most likely the hands of a young person. Hands small enough to fit. You should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno.
A little hooligan.
Oh, my dear Morel. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment.
J'ai pas un petit chenapan pour tirer cette affaire au clair.
Delinquents, my favorite.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us.
Allez, une nouvelle tâche.
Let us
Yes,
know whatever
allez.
you turn up. I have a feeling we're getting...
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
After this is your last chance to talk to Gary.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love...
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal. Morel, it's been fun, really. But I need a bath, and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done...
No need to apologize, Geary. You'd be more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of...
Ah, Gary, je crois que j'ai plus rien à lui dire. Hein.
Always a pleasure to see an officer. I mean, officers.
Il m'a rendu l'armure. On a vu avec lui pour la tasse. On sait que c'est lui, le connard. Raciste.
You see a heavy steel door. The old cobalt paint.
Je sais pas comment on sait ça.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
J'ai pas d'autorité, donc vraiment... J'ai jeté un coup d'œil dans la cour. On sait ici, allons voir. Elle est toujours là, mais... Quoi, faut qu'on aille voir dans sa cachette, là? C'est à vous de soutrer par ici, là.
All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been like skyscrapers, spires of dirt and sand rising. Accommodations for their insectoid inhabitants.
Well, detective, it appears you've solved the case.
Il écrit quelque chose dans son calepin et il se tourne vers
Of the locusts. For the missing locust case, which is a subcase of the imaginary insect case. At least that's going well.
Arrêtez d'être aussi sarcastique, Kim.
Oh, I'm not being sarcastic at all. We are making real progress.
When someone says they're not being sarcastic,
Merci la
it's
rhétorique.
usually a good sign that they're being very sarcastic.
Tu croyais que le phasmidé insulien est tout près?
If anything, the presence of the locust points to the opposite. The phasmid did not take the bait from the traps. It was Kuno. The phasmid doesn't exist.
J'ai envie de faire chez Kim là.
But what do I know?
Use your powers of deduction. You knew the magic bug was nowhere near here. The phasmid is impairing your judgment.
Je sais.
I'll let you handle the Kuno side of
Fuck does Kuno care?
Je sais que c'est toi qui as pris les sauterelles des pièges lancés par les cryptozoologues.
Yeah. Kuno took the bugs. So what?
Pourquoi tu voles des sauterelles? Tu pouvais pas trouver d'autres animaux de compagnie?
They're not pets. Don't you know what locusts are? When they come out of the fucking sky. Fucking descendant shit.
Ah.
Stop!
Et lire dans la culture peut s'enfuir le visage dans les mains.
You stop. It's like they're night. Locusts are like this huge shadow.
Locusts coming down like a shadow. This must be the night city he mentioned when you asked him where he's been.
Donc la cabane. Donc Night City se trouve à l'intérieur?
Yeah. Locust City. City of rage. City of lights.
There's a tug of war over the name of his fantastical city. It's almost too big for his imagination. The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort.
C'est de la rage, ça a l'air d'être un endroit sympa.
Kuno, the pig wants to help you. Oh, that's how lame it is. Please just don't say you're
An artist. Maybe I am an artist. You hear that, everyone? I'm a fucking artist now.
Did he just say I? Kuno usually calls Kuno Kuno.
Approuvé. Là, c'est une vocation noble. Moi-même, je suis un artiste.
Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you totally lame in like 3 seconds.
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free.
Il essaie de tirer sur les boutons de sa chemise pour les déchirer, il n'y arrive pas. I'm free! I'm free! Non, ouais, j'ai essayé d'imiter Kuno, voilà.
Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Kuno can make himself into a... Kuno doesn't give a shit.
Don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno. You'll have to take me away.
Séance de plomb dans la...
In it, you hear snow melting, dripping from the eaves. Someone closing a window.
Ça dépend des choses que tu feras, jeune fille.
Without a word, she disappears entirely. For once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now, with splotches of white begin. You got him. Now convince him to leave the cryptozoologist's traps alone.
Qu'est-il arrivé aux sauterelles? Il faut que tu arrêtes de voler des sauterelles au piège. Les cryptozoologues essaient de faire une découverte importante. Ces sauterelles leur servent d'appât.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. C was right.
The girl's face appears again, above the fence, just long enough to make eye contact with Kuno.
Il faut que je te pose la question. Qu'est-ce que signifie la cité des sauterelles?
It don't mean anything. It's shit. Kuno just likes to focus. Kuno likes to concentrate on shit. Build shit when he's zipping hard.
Laisse son visage brûlant vers la pluie.
Pig, you really shouldn't have fucked with Kuno City. Now it's all fucking lame.
Tout est naze depuis que j'en en ai parlé. Non. Va-t-il arriver aux sauterelles?
Kuno's gonna let the fucking locusts die.
Ah bah non. Kuno.
The fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps?
Phasmidé insulindien.
Huh.
He recognizes the name.
Tu connais les phasmidés insulindiens?
Bitches think Kuno doesn't know shit. The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
Ouh, mais Kuno, en fait, Kuno, il est pas si con que ça, quoi. Il aime bien faire le con, mais...
Kuno doesn't.
Kuno, il fait le malin, là, mais... il fait le mec, mais en vrai... Mais putain, parle de lui à elle. Ok.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design. So it was just a child.
Tu as la moue et semble abattu.
Thank you for telling us, sweetie. This is good news, right? It means we can try again.
She acts chipper, but something's changed in her.
Yeah, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need to inspect the trap.
Le cryptozoïde est pris d'un vilain accès de tout.
He has a 38-degree fever. His resilience has given way.
Darling, I told you to take it easy. You're getting sick. Maybe it's time to go home.
You're right, you're right. We can come back next season, when it's warmer.
That's just something people tell themselves when they fail.
J'ai des l'impression que cette affaire empiète sur mon enquête principale. Mais non, tout est lié. Ça se trouve, c'est le phasmidé qui l'a tué. Pas la peine de mettre sa santé en jeu, vous ferez mieux de rentrer. Je vous aiderai volontiers, mais j'ai d'autres affaires à traiter. Bon, ben, je pourrais peut-être réposer le piège. On va pas s'arrêter en si bon chemin, je vais réposer le piège. C'est parti.
We are getting really carried away with this, aren't we? It's better than having these people get pneumonia on the coast. But after this...
He wants to see this tale through, as much as you. Otherwise, he'd have stopped this already. But he cannot let it drag out after...
Really? It's too much of it.
What Morel means is we're grateful for your help.
Here's a fresh batch of locusts. They should slide right down the funnel. And thank you again. We will definitely mention you.
Wow. Co-discovery. You'd be famous. You'd show them all. This does tingle the pleasure center.
Petite boîte à sauterelles. Et finalement, je vais vendre la boîte à sauterelles.
Again? I can't believe this shit. Okay, why not? So, do you... Yeah, I don't know. Oh my god, there's more.
C'est cool.
Yes. What is it?
Vous avez entendu ça, vous m'avez entendu chanter, ça vous a plu?
That was pretty good, Harry. Wasn't it, Jean?
Whoa. How does she know your name? She probably heard it from somewhere. You have to be more careful, Karaoké star. Names are dangerous.
Huh, that was... Yeah, that was absolute shit, if you want my opinion. Drunken shit.
Mais il a une perruque sur la tête, lui, en fait.
To
Mais rien à ça.
I had cluster headaches. Horrible. Truly horrible. I beg of you, don't ever subject anyone to this torture again. I mean, seriously, you need to...
Lui, il a un vrai problème avec moi, lui.
Jean, it's not right. Don't make it worse. And I really liked it.
She actually did.
Est-ce que par hasard, vous ferez partie, vous approchez tout près de la classe ouvrière?
Well, raising 2 children and half a husband on a patrol officer's wage? Yes, I guess I am working class.
Voulez-vous vous soulever et broyer le système tout entier avec moi? Cool. Moi aussi.
Okay. Well,
vous soulevez et broyer le système tout entier?
No. Okay, sort of. But not with you. Like
Waouh,
right
mais je suis la réincarnation de
now. Don't
Krasmazov.
take this the wrong way.
Vous êtes avec lui?
Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask?
Vous avez l'air mignon ensemble. C'est une enflure?
You're an asshole. You know what? Maybe we're both assholes.
Please, let's not turn this into another exchange, okay?
Là, il m'appelait Harry.
Yes, I called you by your name. What about it?
Comment connaissez-vous mon nom?
God, everybody knows your name. Please go finish your investigation so everyone can go home.
Putain, mais c'est qui ces gens? Il est 8h39. Et je fais de la téléportation instantanée. Oh, je suis monté à 3. Pourquoi je parvenais à 3 de morale? Parce que j'ai gagné en quoi intérieur? En volonté? Ah non, c'est ce que j'ai gagné en volonté. J'ai racheté un peu de médoc pour mon mental là. C'est toujours là, ok.
The trap stands empty. The locusts, dazed from being transported. They're not really going to get the chance to get
Good. Now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending apocalypse? Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
Ah mais c'est quoi? C'est genre on peut se TP que 2 fois dans la journée? Comment ça se passe? Je sais pas. Bon bah allez, on court hein.
All the traps are stopped.
Faut que j'appelle aussi le poste. Je vais le faire sur le chemin, tiens. Mais qu'est-ce que vous faites là, messieurs?
That's one brutal motor carriage.
Huro? C'est quoi ce... C'est pas c'est quoi comme insulte ça?
If I were a real skull now,
Nique le monde.
I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
Son comparse aborde un simple mais néanmoins élégant slogan. Nique le monde.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could like hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors, cops' heads, scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
Qu'êtes-vous?
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches or skulls.
Ah mais... Ok, je vois c'est quel... Ok, je vois c'est quel mot en anglais, mais ils l'ont... Mais je sais pas par quoi ils l'ont traduit en français en fait. C'est le F-word, ok d'accord.
Which
C'est
is
le
not
F-word.
to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs.
C'est qui les cabochards?
You don't know? What kind?
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
Bien sûr, je le sais, je vous teste. J'en ai pas à m'en donner.
The Skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertnay.
Ça va vivre d'excitation.
Besmatine, or the Besmati, the Immortals, are West River Sholian crime syndicates.
Ok.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
Alors, ça. Je sais pas ce que ça donne.
Possessing an
La gueule de
infinite
keuf.
amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
Rien à dire.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around their brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
Ouais, leurs actions non verbales, on comprend ce que ça veut dire, quoi. Voilà.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom light's a wretched aggressive.
No, they really aren't. It's porno tuning. Say no to the porno.
Say no to the porno. Say no to the porno. Il y a quelque chose sur le meurtre qu'il y a eu ici?
Murder?
Oh, le mec, il a l'air perdu.
Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. It was a man.
Also, he was hanged.
Je vais pas au con. La loi, c'est moi.
He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean...
These punks don't know anything.
Hey, stop right there. How does one know anything?
Ah, this sounds like epistemology. A field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself.
Aucune chance que ces deux jeunes hommes aient conscience de son fonctionnement. Je sais que vous savez que dalle.
Exactly. How can one know shit? For example, how can one be sure that there truly is a body
Ah, il y
hanging
en a plus, hein,
behind
en
a
vrai.
hostel?
What if it's art? Or just a mere specter?
C'est possible, oui. Une remarquable œuvre d'art.
No reply. The blonde rebel scratches his chin, deliberately not focusing his gaze on
Vous connaissez Cindy la cabocharde?
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
Elle fait remarquer le jeune homme les yeux perdus dans le vide.
Yeah, a true artist of the future. Just like Arno van Eyck.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
J'ai déjà croisé Cindy la... Hein? J'en ai croisé une qui s'appelait Cindy la cabocharde.
For all their nihilistic posturing, these young men are not lacking in youthful idealism. The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
Oui, des mains comme vous aiment la danse musique contemporaine.
Oh man, yeah. We're not fucking kids, man.
Be wary of the abyss.
Ajoute son ami blond sur un ton inquiétant, le doigt sur sa tempe.
It's a threat. An impotent threat of violence.
Tu fais partie des ripoux? Bah non, je serais sûr que non. Je suis juste parler de musique et d'un seul coup ça part en sucette, c'est abusé. Une menace super, genre la
But I
menace.
don't. In fact, I dislike them so much I'm willing to drag you boys back to the station just to calm myself down.
Oula, Kim. Oh, Kim, il doit avoir... Il y a un petit souci là. Kim, il est pas content là.
Hey, there's no need for that. We're just talking here. Joking too. Stay light, man.
Oh là là, Kim.
Yeah. Didn't you cops, like, have some questions about skulls or some shit?
Oh, Kim, il est en train de les retourner là.
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Yeah, we are.
Échange des ossements de tête par opérateur. Votre théorie qui est troublante. Vous faites partie des cabochards, oui ou non?
We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them.
Et qu'est-ce qui vous fait croire que cette relation voudra de vous?
Because we can be just as psycho and vicious. You'll see.
But in a non-threatening and definitely legal way.
Agite rapidement l'autre, tu chutant quelque chose à l'oreille de son comparse. En mode, mais mec, balance pas que tu vas tuer des chiens, toi, la police.
We'll fuck the system from the inside later. Just be cool now. The damage will be tenfold.
Voilà.
Right on, fuck. So what's happening now?
Ok, se blondiner avant de cracher sur le tuteur de manière provocante. Bon, on fait quoi maintenant? On arrête les cabocheries dans ce cas. C'est quoi le truc avec vos vestes?
What about them?
Pourquoi est-ce qu'il y a écrit Urof sur ta veste?
Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss. The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences.
Quoi, il a bossé sur le sujet, hein.
Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message.
Quoi?
What I mean by this is, we are all pissed, and that the world is inherently meaningless.
Okay.
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field,
Ah oui?
even if it's rather narrow.
Pourquoi est-ce qu'il y a écrit nique le monde sur ta veste?
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it.
I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are they derived from something else entirely?
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though...
Alors tout saute. Ça, alors tout saute, quoi.
You get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious.
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point. Is it a coincidence that here we have two badass jackets and two badass cops?
Yes?
Vous pensez que c'est une coïncidence?
What is?
Sur le 2, il y a deux vestes.
What are you implying?
Laquelle vous aimeriez porter?
I'm not sure I understand you, detective.
Vous êtes plus du genre Eurofoc ou nique le monde?
Neither.
Allez Kim, c'est juste un exercice mental.
Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the two statements.
Ça marche, je me sens en tâche comme un gars qui nique le monde comme ça.
Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
That's an origin story for a dynamic duo right there.
Ah bah oui.
So are we done here? Or... you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
Oh, c'est un lancer rouge. C'est juste une sous-marque de cabochard. C'est des preuves d'autorité. Clair obscur. Est-ce que j'ai des trucs pour le clair obscur? Je sais même pas si j'ai des trucs pour le clair obscur. Si, là. J'ai la veste là.
That ride is.
Hey, piss. Look
Allez,
who it is.
42%, on tente.
Shrunken cophead material.
No, no, no.
Yes.
Don't ask anything. Be subtle and scary. The boys dream about being skulls. Use that.
What? No. Skulls don't have kings. I think. And we're not even in yet.
Yeah, man, keep your voice down. Skulls don't take it lightly when folks pretend to be them. We're not even prospects yet.
Prospect must be a hierarchical term. Probably in the lower end.
Oh, c'est la voix. Même pas même des prospères aspirants déjà araignées.
Wow, you boys are ambitious. Only prospects and already planning a coup in the skulls. You're destined to go far.
Ah, Kim qui joue, Kim qui se prête au jeu, quoi.
He gets it. Passive aggressive flattery.
Shut the fuck up. Are you trying to get us killed?
Now bring it to the jackets and, yes, start shouting.
Ouais, on veut devenir des gabochards qui déchirent comme vous, mais on n'a pas la veste qui va avec.
Please be quiet. What? What do you want? The jackets?
Il reste plus dans c'est du rebelle nihiliste. Le jeune homme devant vous est mort de trouille. Roi des cabochards, rainez-nous la tête!
Fuck you, man. Take them then.
Les gens commencent à faire attention à lui. Vous nous offrez vos vestes juste comme ça serait impoli de refuser.
Oh, man. Okay. I get it. Skulls don't
Alors?
wear slogans
Alors?
anyway. This was stupid.
Alors, ça veut faire les malins, les petits? Bon alors, les enfants, ça fait le malin? Ah bon alors? Ah, dès que deux policiers haussent un peu la voix, il n'y a plus personne, hein?
Fuck.
Allez! Vous tenez, plus vous allez dire, vous étiez plus du genre, je vais prendre l'autre.
I'm absolutely okay with not having either one, thank you.
Pourquoi pas, elles forment une paire, on pourrait vraiment jouer les caïds, bosser comme infiltrés, à fond. Vous n'avez pas envie d'exprimer votre individualisme?
This case doesn't require us to go undercover or raise hell. In fact, I don't think the jackets will be useful at all. I just wanted them to not have them anymore.
Je sais, Kim, je sais.
Cold-hearted cop.
Bon, quand vous voudrez, je m'en fous, je garde les deux. Mais c'est toujours bon de savoir qu'on a pensé d'une paire, au cas où le besoin se ferait ressentir. Donc comme vous voudrez, je garde les deux.
Do. I'm fine with that.
The jackets are meant to complete each other. If a man was standing alone on a street corner with piss written on his back, it would just be an individual that has taken a
I don't know, Eric. It's cold out.
Yeah, let's get out of here. The cops fucked us.
Allez. Cette veste en cuir appartenait à l'IAPE jeune voyou qui avait compris la véritable nature et la condition humaine. Son nom de guerre est inscrit au dos, le message est un peu plus clair. Ah, je peux avoir plus 1 en art dramatique mais moins 1 en autorité, ou plus 1 en clair obscur mais moins 1 en rhétorique. Ah. Cette veste en cuir appartenait à l'IAPE à jeune voyou, voilà, bon, c'est même. T'es sûr, Kim, tu la veux pas?
Yes.
Allez, on les a bien entubés ces deux gosses.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Le signaler un cadavre sur la promenade de Martinez. Attends, vous avez déjà... premier, vous avez des infos sur la propriétaire de ces bottes cuirassées?
Sorry, sir. I still haven't heard back from the database people. Try calling again later. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Ah oui, non, faut qu'on appelle la bibliothèque.
I'm afraid they're closed. It says here that the library is open from 10 a.m. to...
We should try again during
Anything else, detective?
Non, c'est bon.
57.
In the cabin.
Merci, c'est bon. Hop, alors bon, maintenant on va retourner voir Lena. Peut-être communiste, mon pote là. Lui il est peut-être communiste, mais je sais pas qui c'est. On peut pas lui parler. Il est où votre mari?
Hello, dear. It's good to see a familiar face.
Ouais, Morel.
Thank you for doing that, dear. Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid
Il
the
est plus
cold has
résistant.
really gotten to him.
C'est probablement mieux comme ça, il fait affreusement froid là-bas au milieu de ses roseaux.
I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many times. Such is field work.
Her voice is shaky.
Que se passe-t-il?
What is going on here?
Mais qui va aller inspecter le piège?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
On s'en charge, vous en chargez. On va s'en charger, vous en chargez. Allez, c'est parti mon kiki. Faire par rêve d'optimisme exagéré.
That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming.
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Vous avez l'air différente.
Different? How?
Les 2 minutes de sévère revoient votre fait alors qu'elle vous regarde. Ne me dis pas tout. Vous avez abandonné les recherches du ce midi.
I'm in doubt, sweetie.
Vous avez des
That's
doutes à propos de quoi?
It's a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer. Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream?
Je sais pas, je m'en souviens pas de mon enfance. J'étais toute seule, abandonnée. Dans une cave. Il faisait nuit tout le temps. Et un jour, un homme m'a libéré. Cet homme, c'était Krasmazov. Depuis, je me bats pour le peuple. C'est le nom de quoi? Vous disiez quoi déjà?
Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not.
Et Morel m'a dit que vous l'aviez vu. Vous m'avez dit que vous l'avez vu.
Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone.
Vous avez l'air de croire que ça s'est passé. C'est important, non? Je devrais vous arrêter pour avoir menti.
No, sweetie. There's more to it than that. Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the phasmid's existence, that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That, and for years his belief made me believe too. But now, we're both getting old and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was...
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything.
Suggestion, putain. J'ai pas beaucoup en suggestion. J'ai un. C'est un lancé rouge en plus. Dire que son mariage n'est pas fondé sur un mensonge. Au début de ça, je crois que je vous avais bien vu le semaine. Le fait que vous n'êtes pas sûr d'avoir inventé ou non cette histoire. Il suffit d'un faux souvenir, ça ne veut pas dire que tous les crédits sont des inventions. Partez à la recherche d'une autre créature. On tente quand même.
But it has, hasn't it? A seed can only be. It has a taste you're quite familiar with.
Pourquoi arrêter de mentir maintenant après tout ce temps?
Might be right, detective. I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I came in on our first date. If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologist.
She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking.
Il serait toujours amoureux de vous, c'est pas comme ça que ça marche. Je crois maintenant, pourquoi vous ne lui avez pas parlé de vos doutes? Ne rien dire.
I've wasted enough of your time with this drama. What you have to know is the Insulindian phasmid probably doesn't.
Are there? Some of the other things are pretty bad.
Au diable, je crois que vous avez vu le
A
Phasmid.
true believer. Sometimes I still see it too. The real memory of it. How it was there. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell that either way. I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary.
Très bien, je vais inspecter les pièges une dernière fois.
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Morel.
Pouvez-vous me donner vos adresses au cas où j'ai des nouvelles?
Okay, it's 1113 Tabernacle Road, Jamrock, but...
Je tiens de ne pas avoir besoin d'aide pour retourner chez Gary.
Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered.
Tapote le fauteuil.
And then a taxi home. It's not so bad.
Faites attention à vous, Lena. Merci d'avoir éclairé l'antenne parmi autant d'obscurité.
You're welcome, sweetie. I'm glad it helped you, even though it turned out to be a...
Elle ne termine pas sa phrase.
A waste of time. A lie. A fool's hope. Say her lips moving inside. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine sputters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, it's snowing.
Ça fait chier, j'ai raté la suggestion. Lui dire que son mariage n'était pas fondé là-dessus.
We should go too.
C'est faux, son mariage n'était pas fait que sur un mensonge. Ah là là. Bon, maintenant. Que nous reste-t-il à faire? On en est où? Entre 9h30 et 10h. Entre 10h et 18h. Ok. Allons à l'église, tiens. On peut vraiment pas revoir les pièges au cas où? Ce serait très marrant quand même.
Just dead and dying locusts, and the slow swaying.
No. Là, il faut mordre l'affinité mécanique. Donc, hop. C'est pas pour maintenant. Mais elle.
Yes, what is it?
Un bonus d'infection moins 2. Hein. C'est vrai que j'ai moins 2 avec le bonus de celui-là. Ce connard prétentieux. C'est entre Wompy Dompy Dom. Suggestion. J'ai rien pour monter ma suggestion quoi. Chier.
Yes, what is it?
83, allez.
Easy.
Ah.
When her research is done, she can move out.
J'ai dit que vos recherches n'avançaient pas beaucoup. Peut-être que je peux vous donner un coup de main. Ah voilà, on va l'aider. On va l'aider.
What? No, I don't really need any help with the project.
Si je vous aide à boucler votre projet, vous serez plus obligé de cohabiter avec des voisins bruyants dans une église. C'est vous qui voyez.
She thinks about it. A glassy look in her eyes. A gust of wind brings more snow in from the broken gallery.
All right. Bring me the game's offside copy from my old workspace, if you really want to help. It's stored on a filament memory, and I'm unable to go and fetch it myself.
Oh, mais je l'ai déjà.
Yeah, that's the one. You can get in through the bookshop. You just have to do some explaining to the bookstore lady.
En fait, je suis déjà allé dans la zone commerciale
Good.
maudite.
Then you might know the giant ice bear fridge in the building's cellar. The filament is inside the fridge. Just go and get it.
Ah.
In the giant ice bear fridge. I just told you. It has red glowing eyes.
But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying...
Sur un mot sur le frigo en forme d'ours, ça disait que le frigo que le copie hors site avait déplacé vers un endroit plus sûr.
Wait. A note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory?
D'après la note, la copie hors site a été transférée dans une machine à glace à proximité. Elle est signée par un certain Sulislo.
Jawiza. Of course. Our project lead, Suliswov Jawiza. God, he was always so hell-bent on keeping the copy somewhere safe. And feature creep, and the Valley of the Heads. Like it would have made a difference. The offside copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That data loss was anomalous. And the heads... I won't even get into
Ouais, perdu son tripel. Hein.
Millions of them. Go find that copy from that...
Valley of 1,000 Heads. You like the sound of that.
En fait, on a foutu un cadavre dans le frigo. Elle va me dire, qu'est-ce que je t'en ai rien à foutre, moi. J'ai trouvé la machine à glace, mais j'ai pas réussi à l'ouvrir à cause du givre.
It's getting ridiculous. Can't you just defrost it? Or, I don't know. I don't know about the ice cream maker. Just figure something out.
Je vais lui dire, on a foutu un cadavre dans le frigo.
Wait, what? Whose dead body?
You know, we don't actually have to tell the entire world about the fridge.
Whose body is it?
Pas inquiète, je l'ai stocké temporairement, c'est pour une enquête officielle.
You put it there? You put a dead body inside the ice bear fridge.
Oui, pour les besoins de l'enquête.
Okay. Very cool.
We would appreciate it if you kept this knowledge to yourself, miss.
Who would I tell? My mother? I don't have anyone to tell. And if I did, I wouldn't. I don't. Thanks.
Ouais, vous remet un petit biche médaille magistrat. Bah voilà.
And here's my Qualsund multi-tool. You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens everything.
The legendary Kvalsund multi-tool. This is Prybar version 2.0 for professional.
Trop bien. Ouais. Une sorte de pied de biche plus 2. On l'a amélioré. On a amélioré la pied de biche, on l'a monté en plus 2. Il n'a même pas diminué le nombre d'ustensiles que dissimule son coffrage gris et jaune. Une telle polyvalence donne le tournis. Équipé pour ouvrir les compteurs verrouillés que vous croisez. Alors, du coup, maintenant j'ai mieux. Regardez comme je remonte si vite en argent, ça n'a aucun sens. C'est des communistes, toi.
Now it's turning into a kind.
On va acheter un peu de médoc vite fait. Ah non, c'est là les médocs.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs.
Okay, here. Okay, here.
The tear machine stands in. Your bottles clunk.
Je fais un peu d'argent. Lui, c'était quoi qu'il fallait que je monte? Lui clair obscur. Ah, mais clair obscur, attends, j'ai truc pour ça. Oups. Fuck the world, voilà. J'ai autre chose pour le clair obscur? Non, j'ai un autre. Ça va pas me donner plus que ça, quoi. 83 quand même.
Men like this only respect two things.
Tiens.
Strength and fear.
Montrez-moi où se trouve son putain de camion. Indique-moi le camion de la close. Où est-il?
Fuck you, I told you. I'm not gonna.
Ah oui, je suis en train de le... Mais tu connais, tu me dis retirer.
There. His voice grows smaller as he
Je vais te baiser pour l'éternité, puis j'ai te foutre dans une cellule avec un mastodonte keep monté comme un mulet. Tu vas saigner de la bite keep le restant de tes jours, tu piges? Quand tu t'appelles fils de pute, je vais scanner ton nom par... Je vais scanner ton nom par transmission radio et dire tout le monde que t'as fait chier madre.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green, banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
When did she go away?
Taco vert.
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days.
Je trouve son camion exactement.
That's the monument down there. The Green Temple. Now...
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into...
Ok. Que j'ose dire prenne pas. Hein. Qu'est-ce que je voulais faire moi à la base? Pourquoi j'étais revenu là moi déjà? Ah oui, pour là.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood.
C'est juste que un instrument physique. Bon, 2 avec un bonus de réflexion, ah ouais. Ah oui, putain, je suis en mode... Ah putain.
A thick layer of cold.
Mais c'est lui, attends, c'est lui que je dois... Je suis perdu. Moi. Mais c'est la machine à glace, non?
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen.
Ah oui, c'est vrai que la dernière fois j'avais moins 10. J'avais moins 10 parce que j'avais pas l'instrument qu'il fallait. Bon, je reviendrai dans 14 heures. Allez, c'est parti, continuons.
Now it's turning into...
Après des prolos, j'en ai partout là-bas. En vrai de vrai. Attends, des prolos, il y en a partout là.
There. Do you smell that?
Quoi? Ah bah là, oui, ça va sentir le prolo là, oui.
Can you not detect that inimitable whiff of dissatisfaction and restlessness, that sense that the world is in need of dramatic. Can you smell it? You inhale. The cilia along your olfactory epithelium tingle with excitement as they sift through the swirling morass of industrial.
Les gens qui sont en train de protester pour avoir du travail, c'est pas des communistes, ça?
First come the smells of the agitated strike breakers, layers of body oil and sweat, over-buttered meals pulled from bake-like lunch pails, the biting stench of lye soap. And then there's the slowly oxidizing metal gates, the scent of stale grease emanating from...
Everything in order, detective?
Ça n'affaire personne. Je renifle la piste des communistes, Kim. J'essaie de développer ma conscience politique.
You're smelling for... You know what? I'll just leave you to it. Carry on, detective.
Kim, il a atteint le stade. Il est juste en mode, vas-y mec. Il est juste en mode... Ouais, vas-y. Ouais, allez, ok.
The lieutenant lacks your highly developed political olfactory cortex. The reek of communism is undeniable, and it's coming. Yes, now's your chance, but be easy about it.
Je savais.
Hola, Wandering Man.
Essaye d'établir ce contact. Écoute mec, j'ai un truc important à te dire.
Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole.
Tu vois le temps qu'on passe à réfléchir à ces mots racistes, c'est ce que veut la classe dirigeante.
Yeah, it would be really bad if we got into an argument about it. Waste of a good noon. Or afternoon. Or night. Anyway, what's that, boy, yeah?
Now's your chance. Remember, communists are notoriously skittish, so it's best to insinuate your way in.
Je cherche des gens spécialisés dans la fabrication de saucisses. De saucisses. De saucisses. Chemin de tête et pliez vos dos comme le bois d'un cerf.
Don't think I've ever met a Kras personally. Then again, I've never been to Kras.
Moi, ça regarde en biais.
Could be coming from one of the jam lorries. Cargo's been sitting out for a while.
Okay, maybe it's time to abandon the subtle approach.
J'aimerais rencontrer les communistes. T'en connais un?
Ah, now I see. Can't say I'm surprised. You seem to take your communism seriously.
Bah oui.
Not a bad thing, mind you. It's good for a man to take time to think about the whole socio-political world picture.
Oh, he certainly likes to take his time with things, especially when politics are at issue.
Ah oui, vraiment, ce duo avec Kim, il est juste parfait.
So you've given up copying and now you're hunting comunistas. Care to say why?
Je traque pas les communistes, j'ai besoin de quelques conseils. C'est de développer mon potentiel politique et j'ai besoin de leur aide.
Oh, I see. I wish I could help. Unfortunately, I don't know many comunistas.
Tu m'as dit que tu n'étais pas vraiment communiste, mais peut-être que si finalement. J'ai cru que tous les syndicalistes étaient des communistes. Ouais, c'est un beau raccourci quand même. Tu es sûr que tu sens le communiste?
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, I'm not institutional. A man's got to blaze his own trail, in my...
Blazing his own trail, being his own man. Not exactly your typical communist spiel.
Sorry.
Okay, so maybe he's not exactly a communist, but...
Ah, but you know, I did meet a genuine ideologo a few months ago. Perhaps he is your guy.
C'est quoi un idéologue? Un idéologiste? Comment vous avez
It was
rencontré?
late one night as I was leaving the arbor. He was waiting on the corner in a bright white jacket. Classic Saramirizian style. He asked me for a light. We shared cigarettes. Then he asked me if I ever thought about getting into some of the extra physical branches of communism.
Quoi? Je veux rencontrer cet homme. Trop la classe et technique d'approche, j'aurais dû penser.
No idea. I took a very old school
C'est le
organizing
clandestine.
technique. The sort of thing comunistas used to do before the revolution.
Qu'est-ce que tu l'as dit?
The same thing I always tell people who try to press some claim on me. I said, every boyadero rides alone.
Pourquoi il y a de logo?
You know, a guy with a theory. Someone who likes to pit his theory against other theories in deadly theory combat.
Comment je fais pour trouver ce
I
type?
couldn't tell you. Once I declined his offer, we finished our cigarettes and he disappeared back into... Remember Dobrava and Abadanais?
Dobrava et Abananidaïs?
And then he was gone.
C'est qui Dobrava et Abananidaïs?
I don't know. Guess not everyone remembers.
À quoi ça fait référence selon
Been
toi?
wondering about that myself. Some comunista inside talk with me. Not meant for the wider public. They love that kind of thing. You'd have to ask someone who knows to see the logo personal. I have to say though, it sounds like you found yourselves a proper hunt.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal...
Renseignez-vous sur ces idéologos dont Mana vous a parlé. Oh là 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 là, dans quoi on s'est lancé encore? Lui, c'est pas un coco, lui? Là, on s'est lancé dans une belle quête à la recherche des communistes, là. Voilà. Inspectons cette voiture.
This screen found, A to Z, contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins.
This must be the one he told us about, unless he was lying.
Je jette un œil à l'intérieur. Essaye de jeter un œil à
The
l'intérieur.
glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can posters cover the small windows in the back. You can't make out.
C'est la poignée de la porte.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny. There's no pick in this lock. The owner has put...
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside.
Pardon?
This has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
This screen found, A to Z, contemporaire, is parked.
Je fais pas pour le moment. J'ai -2 en putain de... truc physique, là. L'instrument physique, là. Avec le bon outil. J'ai -2 en instrument physique. C'est le truc. On reviendra plus tard. C'est bon, elle est plus à 2 minutes près maintenant cette affaire. Attends. Et quelle heure là? 10h, allez. On peut appeler à la bibliothèque.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. Hold on, office. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced...
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
J'aurais besoin de toutes les informations que vous pouvez me donner sur Billy Méjean, l'un de vos membres.
Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
Il baisse le combiné.
Yes, hello, are you still there?
Oui.
I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
Ouais, ça...
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Les données nous intéressent.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Gislain, 33,
Ah, rue de Saint-Gislain, c'est ici.
apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Capeside Apartments, it says. That's all.
L'appartement numéro 20.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives,
Ouais, c'est ça.
isn't it?
Il y a 2 informations sur Billy Méjean.
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day.
Vous savez qui était là ce jour-là?
Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Michon? They returned a Tybalt book the other day.
Maurice, what? A woman yells. Then, yes, yes. Okay. If it was the
Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
Ah, c'est le ah oui, d'accord, Billy, oui, c'est le nom d'une femme. C'est sa femme qu'on
Good.
trouve.
You have a name now.
C'est vous le nom de son mari?
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight.
Est-ce que vous peut nous décrire?
Marie, she said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him. 1 second. Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that.
Comment c'était que c'est son mari?
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her. Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Anything else you need from me?
Non, c'est bon.
57.
In the cabin, you...
Moi, je vais aller parler à Billy Jean. À Billie Jean.
Inside,
Non, mais je peux les prévenir qu'il y a un cadavre quand même.
microphone, a pull-out toolbox.
This is precinct 50. One moment. Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
Un homme d'âge moyen non identifié, taille environ 1m70-75, cheveux bruns, corpulence moyenne. On dirait qu'il a glissé dans un trou sur la promenade et que son crâne a heurté le blanc en métal.
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him, and...
Any signs of violence?
Non, on dirait que c'était un accident.
No field autopsy necessary.
You can hear her quickly type.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes?
Portait les bottes, un pantalon et une vieille veste en cuir avec un liseré bleu clair. J'ai trouvé une carte de bibliothèque dans ses poches.
Any information on the library card?
Bah oui, elle vient de la bibliothèque municipale qui s'appelle Billy Béjean.
Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
On va s'occuper de cette
I
affaire.
have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you? 57.
In the cabin.
C'est bon, merci. Non, c'est par là. Il y a quelque chose en bas. Quelque chose en bas? Oui, mais c'est la cave, non? J'ai pas de mazout encore.
Paintbrush. The paintbrush in your hand is like a loaded revolver. What will it be, Desperado? Quite a few things come to mind.
Qu'est-ce que je pourrais peindre ou quoi? Nique la prise. Pas sûr, pas sûr. Le mur sacré. Quelle ombre gît ici sur cette lumineuse lueur? Dessiner un pictogramme d'un être humain vieux de 3500 ans? Quoi? Quelque chose de merveilleux va se produire. Voilà, c'est un message d'espoir.
You've spoken. The wall will now silently repeat the message for a decade or so, until the sea air degrades the paint, adding another layer of detritus to...
Very poetic. Real poetry. Should we return to our murder investigation? I hear there's a really bad one we are supposed to solve.
T'as tout cassé. T'as tout cassé?
There it is again. There's a spectral scent, sea brine mostly, years of turmoil, of hopes and dreams, ground beneath the inexorable tides of capital. What do you smell? The first thing that strikes you is the overwhelming brine. You imagine yourself underwater, a 100-legged arthropod scut. But then The unmistakable reek of seagull shit hits you, buoyed along on the air currents. An acrid melody atop mouldering chords of wood rot and
Still smelling for communist, detective?
Oui.
Well, I'll be over here when you've finished.
What the lieutenant thinks is irrelevant. Your politico-olfactory cortex is lighting up like a holiday. Certainement. A precocious communist youth. A symbol of a kinder, more hopeful future.
Ce jeu, ce jeu ne s'arrêtera donc jamais. Ça s'arrête jamais. Cindy?
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire?
Nique le monde et Yo te passe le bonjour.
I don't believe it. I've never known those boys to have manners.
Ah, c'est elle, Cindy la cabocharde. Je crois qu'ils sont pas autant.
They'll never be skulls, but their hearts are in the right.
Tu peux faire partie des cabochards? Quelle étude d'accomplir?
Thank you for passing on the message. Now run along, Piggy. And what do you know about politics?
Je recherche des camarades qui m'aideront à lancer ma grande foire à la saucisse masochiste. Mais putain, c'est quoi cette pourquoi une foire à la saucisse? C'est juste péjoratif. L'un des gars du syndicat a dit que quelqu'un essaie de mettre en place une cellule révolutionnaire clandestine. L'union fait la force.
An underground set? Sure. I know someone who'd love to talk that idea like a right communist who runs a mega cool and very secret meeting. He might.
Pour m'aider entre eux.
No.
The lieutenant let slip a sigh that seems to suggest this turn was utterly predictable.
Dis-moi ce que tu veux que je fasse.
A wicked grin.
Oink for me, Piggy. Just once.
Ah, c'est comme ça qu'on traite un frère de la Révolution?
Wrong. This is exactly how I treat my little brother.
Non, la question.
Be a good pig now. No oink.
Ah bah je suis obligé.
Well. Seems.
Yes, somehow you managed. The lieutenant, needless to say, is not impressed.
Sounds like you're really serious. Steban's group meets only at night. In an old room in these apartments here. It just so happens you're in luck. Their weekly meeting is tonight. Poke your snout around sometime after 10 p.m. and you might just find them.
Pourquoi je sens qu'il y a une embrouille?
Oh, smart. See, Steban's a bit on the paranoid side. He's got all these mega secret passphrases.
Not to interfere in your personal errand, but I wonder whether it might have something to do with that phrase Mañana mentioned overhearing.
Oui, bien vu, Kim.
The lieutenant.
Guess this is what happens when two pigs put. That's enough. Off with you then.
Je referai pas le poulet pour toi. Si c'est ce que t'attendais. Bon, sinon, numéro 20.
You hear someone walking around in.
C'est numéro 10. Mais non, on la connaît cette appart.
A weathered brown door.
Ah, bah,
The something smells good. Soup along. The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock.
Pourquoi ton
You're
sapin?
right. Let's talk this through.
You hear some light footsteps and what appears to be.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Méjean. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the... Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary.
Il y a un petit conseil de la façon de lui dire.
Dad, just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
The lieutenant motioned,
Hello? Who is it?
C'est une voix depuis l'intérieur.
and someone turns down the radio.
Nous sommes bien chez Billy Méjean, c'est la police. Veuillez ouvrir la porte.
The police. A moment, please give us a moment.
Tidying up. No.
Come in. The door is open.
Prenez votre temps pour explorer l'appartement, soyez respectueux. Un paquet vide de cigarettes Red Astra caché sous lui. La même marque de cigarette que celle que vous avez trouvée chez le défunt. Des paquets de macaroni pour l'aide humanitaire. Des restes ont été achevés pour une cuisinière. Ça sent le raisin et l'oignon. Les fenêtres sont couvertes de vieilles coupures de presse. Ils peuvent pas se payer de rideaux ou quoi. Des marques de ciné à la craie pour mesurer la taille des enfants au fil du temps. Un manuel du lycée thématique est surtout centré sur la trigonométrie. Des affiches de pop stars contemporaines ornent les murs. Les aiguilles de l'horloge avancent sur un air égalité. Bien joué. Bon, on a fini de fouiller. Je sais, je...
From the book stand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo?
Ah oui, c'est elle.
I don't think I introduced myself properly.
C'est vrai,
I'm
c'est
Bill.
vrai.
Would you like something to drink?
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief. For now, you're on your own here.
Merci, c'est...
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again?
Mais...
I can come pick him up in the station if that's...
Oh, les méga souvenirs. Je me souviens, il y a eu tout un débat sur... On rigolait parce que elle disait, ça fait un petit moment que je n'ai pas vu mon mari. On a dit, ah, mais c'est pour moi, c'est une affaire de disparition de personnes et tout le monde se foutait de ma gueule là. Ouais, je me souviens, bah c'est elle en fait. Bah voilà. Bah finalement, il était bien disparu, on l'a retrouvé.
No, this is something much worse.
How about some small talk before you break the news?
Comment dire? Putain, non! Partir. Mon empathie, elle est moins... Je suis pas une perte d'empathie à mort, là? Voilà, j'ai ça qui m'enlève de l'empathie. Les chaussures de l'empathie.
She looks up, too anxious to say anything. You've done this before. Just keep your focus.
Chez eux, vous annoncez, mais votre mari Victor a été retrouvé mort sur la promenade de Martinez.
What did you say?
Mort. Toutes mes condoléances, madame.
Oh. Oh. But... he was just...
De mes gueules repose toujours au fond du cendrier. Je suis désolé, madame.
But he was just here, alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, ma'am.
What happened to him?
Elle se tourne vers vous. Son cou et ses joues sans pourpre, son double manteau sans bourbe. Et c'est encore trop tôt pour... C'est un accident. Il est tombé dans un trou sur le promenade et s'est cogné la tête. Pardon, il a glissé et s'est cogné la tête. C'était un accident.
Was he drunk?
D'accord, elle a peut-être joué un rôle en effet.
I see. And you just found him there, lying in the cold.
Oui, madame.
How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever.
Peu de temps, vraisemblablement.
She blinks, eyes welling up with tears. The handkerchief.
Prenez ça.
Yes, thank you.
Paraît désorienté.
Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend, a family member, someone who could be here for you?
No, no. I just need to tell my girls.
Ah, c'est vrai qu'elle a deux filles.
God.
Elle nous l'avait dit.
Should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
No. A day.
Non, prenez une journée pour vous remettre. Vous serez mieux préparés quand elles rentreront demain.
Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you.
Et là, sa tête sont toutefois se départir de la tristesse.
Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier.
Il lui tend une brochure avec coordonnées de la mort.
A very good call.
Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still...
Il se frotte le visage, effleurant ses joues engourdies.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if...
Elle suffoque. Non, mais ça, faut pas lui redire. Je trouve que c'est vraiment une phrase de merde. Mais, je parle juste par expérience.
We should step outside and talk.
Posez la carte de bibliothèque près d'elle, quittez la pièce. Est-ce que vous êtes communiste?
You did well.
Dit le lieutenant dès que vous avez quitté l'appartement. Le balcon semble frais et paisible et offre une vue incroyable sur le disque. Oh shit, on fait quoi maintenant? Tu aurais pu faire plus.
You did enough.
Il s'interrompt et se frotte les mains pour se réchauffer.
Can't save the whole world, you know.
Can't bring the dead back.
Tiens.
I'll call the station when we're finished with the day and let them know the name of the deceased.
Et Billy et ses enfants?
They'll manage.
C'est tout?
That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty
Bon, affaire classée alors.
Let's go.
Affaire classée.
This door is made of metal and appears to no one answer.
We should return in the evening. At 9 p.m. the earliest.
Ouais, c'est vrai que lui, il faut qu'il vienne. Putain, j'ai complètement oublié qu'il fait qu'on aille le voir, lui. Après 21h. Je vais oublier encore. Je vais complètement oublier encore. Salut.
Her knuckles have turned white, holding on to that fence. She's been here for days, seething.
L'air de moisir ressemble à celle d'une cave à... oui, bah... On va la rappeler, on va voir si du coup les armures, ça... donne quelque chose.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I... Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be for 57.
In the cabin.
Eh ben, il me reste plus qu'à...
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
Allons voir l'autre chef de la pègre. Hein. Pour le moment, il n'y a plus que ça à faire. Ah, peut faire tenter d'autres trucs, mais bon, instrument physique, je suis en plein.
You're back before the cargo container.
Hop, un petit cellulaire quand même. C'est pas une canne à pêche, si, c'est.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You
On peut parler du meurtre
I'm
maintenant.
very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside?
He's trying to figure out if you're lying.
J'ai vêtement entré dans l'appartement. Le foulard avait un drapeau du vrai cheval accroché au mur.
Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel. Pissing on Everart's Rainbow Coalition.
Ils s'en fichent complètement de ma coalition arc-en-ciel.
He was testing you, and you succeeded.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good.
J'ai entendu parler d'un lien entre le lynchage et la grève. J'aurais besoin de votre témoignage.
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps.
Je vous écoute.
Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire.
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine.
I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant.
Vous avez un éléphant du village?
Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
Monsieur, on vous homme de place sur conteneur?
Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them. All hardened commando types.
3? Il y en a un de mort. C'est-à-dire qu'on a toujours 2 en liberté. Hein.
One of them got downright suicidal. Getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy. The one who likes hanging out.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill.
Quoi, vous voulez dire que tout le quartier est impliqué? Qui exactement a commencé par pousser le bouchon un peu trop loin? Ouais, est-ce qu'il va dire que c'est tout le quartier comme ça? En fait, c'est comme fait l'autre groupe là, de l'autre. Si tu ne pointes personne, tu peux pas accuser quelqu'un d'avoir fait un meurtre, vu qu'il est en train de dire que c'est tout le quartier qui l'a tué.
There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood. Making sure...
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
They're like you guys.
Carrément.
Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well...
Again, that sounds like organized.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, boss. Socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land.
Ouais, il nous l'a déjà dit.
He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them...
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error? Anyway.
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. Of course, you're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me.
Vous avez parlé d'une avocate.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with...
Wait, the girl by the whirling, who was keeping an eye on you. Is he talking about her?
C'est vous qui l'avez envoyé m'espionner en jardinière. Mieux vaut ne pas en parler.
I did that, didn't I? She thinks of herself as a guerrilla fighter. These middle-class kids and the books they read are crazy, Harry. I think she would rather be an insurgent than a lawyer. Oh, Liz is...
Wait.
Oh, and she also really likes gardening, I hear. In March? Strange. Anyway, let's move on.
Comment tu servi de sa bande?
Oh, they are simply fine young men. All 7 of them. Exemplary union members.
8.
Always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interest. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women...
He's betting on them being useless to you.
Eva, j'ai rencontré les gars de Hardy. Vous pouvez leur demander de coopérer.
But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
Pourquoi vous me donnez ça?
I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real.
J'en ai pas besoin. J'en ai tellement pas besoin, mec. Je me fais de l'argent juste en parlant aux gens, mec.
Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else?
Mais le mec, il a cru qu'il allait me payer. Le mec, il me tend un pot de vin et genre en mode, vas-y. Et 5 $ en plus. Et qu'est-ce que je foudre avec 5 réals, mec? Mec, je fais 3 choix de discussion, c'est bon.
Was it a good talk?
J'ai plus.
I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yeah. Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want
Homme de gauche.
but I just can't.
Je suis un mec de gauche, putain.
A man of the left. So you have to be a social democrat. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
Planté ou quoi? Je suis bien plus de gauche que vous.
You're saying it, but I don't believe you. You know how it is, company snitches, agent provocateurs everywhere. I'm barricaded in this fortress of mine, and I need to get a
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
Quoi ça lance ces signatures?
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry.
Depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very...
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
Vous voulez parler du village des pêcheurs?
Yes, yes, the little cul-de-sac on the coast, where all the men have drowned, in either the sea or the bottle, a gloomy place, doesn't...
You're already pretty deep into this. What's a little more? No one can see you here in Martinez.
Gravité aux occupants actuels?
They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Vous êtes sûr à 100% que personne ne finira dehors?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything... We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up.
On sait très bien que ça va servir de façade, hein. C'est sûr et certain.
Not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I heard them. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I'll know you're a solid socialist. Most certainly, Harry. By all means, Harry. What's on your mind? No, you didn't. I know the mailman, Harry. I know everyone and everything. Just like I know you'll get it done. Once you stop horsing around, let me know. By all means, Harry. See you soon.
Elle contient des documentaires juridiques sur lesquels figurent les 2 noms Isabelle Sadie et Lillian Carter. Les 2 signatures doivent être...
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum.
Entre 12 et 40 mois? Enfin, déjà, il m'a dit 6 tout à l'heure. Examinez le plan de zonage.
The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently, it's going to cover most, if not all, of the street and the square between the existing...
I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything. It's not a perfect solution, but...
How else are you going to build something? It's always inconvenient to build things, and citizens inevitably have disagreements over such construction projects. But there's no other way.
Logique. Logique. Sans logique, sans logique.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. There is no loophole. The simple truth is, the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door.
Si quelles sont les conséquences?
Once the construction starts, it'll probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out.
Toute équipe, dizaines de photocopies seront de toute façon obligés de partir. Qu'est-ce qu'on doit faire?
I should have seen it. Evrard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone.
Les types d'Evrard pourraient être en train de vous observer. Moi, je suis un peu... Je suis un peu littéralement son bureau, quoi. Donc, il y a des chances. Après, où est-ce que je peux aller? Est-ce qu'il y a un endroit où ce malus il s'enlève?
You take the legal documents out of...
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you. Is that it?
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us?
Si vous me poussiez un peu plus à vous pour le découvrir, ça l'abrutit.
You gonna let him talk to me like that, Titus?
Let's see. Yeah, I get the old man sent word you'd be around again. That's the reason I'm being so forthcoming with you.
But having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect.
Bon, déjà, ça m'a aidé que j'ai gagné plus 2. J'ai plus d'autorité. Hein. Autorité moins 2 là, boum. Je pense que même avec des...
Looks like the circus left town.
Je monte à combien là?
But the clowns are still here.
8. Yes. J'ai 2 en autorité et même avec ça... Non, c'est mes chaussures. C'est... Ouais, c'est là. C'est toujours pas le bon moment pour voir la fenêtre.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
J'ai rien en projection analytique.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown. The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event. Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of, and then accelerated straight into the fence, left a hole big enough for the Frank. The driver proceeded to back out of the yard before heading south. Must have been in a hurry.
C'est là dont je suis parti avec mon automatisme avant de couler dans la mer.
No wonder the cafeteria manager seemed frustrated when he was giving us directions to the yard. Well, you did provide us with a very convenient access point to the crime scene.
Ouais, c'est ça. Exactement. Si je me planque ici, là. Vous voyez toujours ou pas, là, les autres?
You take the legal documents out of the envelope.
J'essaie de gagner en affinité mécanique. Je crois que j'ai un truc là qui me puise en affinité là. J'ai vu tout à l'heure. Non mais ça donne plus de ça. Il y a rien d'autre? Faire une sauvegarde.
You take the legal documents out of the... With a confident flourish, you complete your forgery. What do you see on this signature? Indeed, they look distinctly different and very convincing. These might... But they're not. And the document will be nullified if they dispute it. That means Everard will have to start over. All you need to do now is mail the signatures to Everard's accountant in La Delta.
Non. Ça, ils ne seront pas expédiés. Je peux lui en parler?
Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
Bah la poste du coup.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with...
Tu sais qu'on finirait par utiliser cette boîte pour quelque chose.
Yes, for sending mail.
You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft... About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug, Everard. You know he's going...
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
C'est vrai. L'autre, il a cru qu'il allait pouvoir m'utiliser pour cette petite manigance, l'autre là. La police, monsieur. C'était quoi là qu'il me fallait, je sais plus.
The file cabinet stands.
La volonté.
Drawer slides shut.
Merci par là. Hop, retournons voir Everard. Je veux dire, c'est bon.
Mr. Dubois, I hear the meeting with Titus was a glowing success. That's such a relief. Now, what can Everard Clare do
C'est
for
fait, j'ai
you
envoyé
today?
comme
The
mail.
Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be a true man of the left. I can find you're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
See? Forging that signature. Well done, sire. By guile and deceit, you're in.
Est-ce que je peux récupérer mon arme maintenant?
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done.
Très bien, on se trouve-t-elle?
An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character, so watch out.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as terrifying.
Hein? Je me souviens pas. Donc maintenant, il est toujours en possession de la femme qu'il a achetée auprès de roi.
Yes, the
Le
same
roi.
one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? The neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debarders Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
Souvenez des gens.
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's
We might be looking at someone with a medical history here. Watch out.
Qui est cette vieille femme?
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
La poularde.
There it is again. The pigs. Like Roy said, not good.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast, the one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to...
She will be there from 2200 hours.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Ah ouais. Tu veux qu'il avoir donné la mise à mort du pendu?
I did not, Harry. Although I am very, very glad he's dead.
Qu'est-ce que vous aviez gagné à sa mort?
Why, a war, of course.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war.
Je cherche à boire. Regardez ce que j'ai trouvé sur le chemin. Un petit chat. Un petit chat. C'est un petit chat. Hein? Petit chat qui aime pas être caressé. Oh non, oh, oh, fuis. Fuis pendant que tu le peux encore. Tes poils. Ce sont des militaires bien entraînés, vous n'avez donc pas peur pour vos armes.
We outnumber them 1,500 to 1, and that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, Even the moralists think they're in bad taste.
Quel est le lien avec la grève?
Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait.
Guerre des classes, Jackson.
Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance.
Quoi?
Tits from her arsehole. It's a
Actually, no, it's not.
Pourquoi vous me dévoilez votre plan? Vous dire c'est un méchant de James Bond, pourquoi vous me dévoilez votre plan?
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. It's already happening.
Dire son orange en forme d'espadon et approuve. Vous êtes combien dans le syndicat?
2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor organization in
Ah oui, clairement. Comment vous allez financer votre nouveau port indépendant?
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of...
Clients would take a well-known multinational conglomerate over a local mobster any day.
J'espère que vous vous rendez compte que les clients partiront en masse.
Sure, some will go, but mark my words. The company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
That's drugs.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samaran Isola. You don't need to be colonialist about it. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities.
C'est la partie immergée de l'iceberg, hein.
The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about...
In bulk shipping, large volume column is a major buyer, a shark.
We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his Benefed and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off risperazole.
Benefed is a children's cold medicine, usually apricot flavored, and risperazole is used to treat severe psychosis.
Et boum, voilà, j'ai déjà gagné plus d'argent juste en lui parlant que son putain de billet là.
And the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolid.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned. But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share. And I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez.
He's basically admitting to it.
Attends, je veux dire où cette affaire de mode, d'accord? C'est logique de réguler le trafic de drogue comme ça. Ça évite qu'ils se retrouvent entre les mauvaises mains.
Yes, yes, of course. And while you're doing that, please go ahead and...
Nothing in his features.
Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbour's turnover, just like the harbour is, but a small part of Martinez.
C'est toujours illégal.
Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. Models who want to walk catwalks and steel welders who want to weld steel.
Lequel? Celui-là? Celui-là? Ou l'un des deux là-bas? Parce que là, il y a un beau gosse. Là, papa. Et là, il y en a un sur deux. Mais je dirais pas lequel. Pour pas choquer Harry.
I'm gonna unite them all into one economic body.
Ça,
We're
c'est
gonna
faux.
incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's gonna be in on the wealth, and everyone's gonna pull their weight.
Je suis un homme vénal. Non, non. Moi, je trouve j'aime ce que vous faites pour les ouvriers. Non, non, mais. Ah, bah oui, celui là-bas en haut. C'est. C'est les lunettes, je pense. Qui font que. Une fausse résolution.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you. You have no idea how much it means to me, because in many ways, you are that working man. You have already done so much work.
Mec qui essaie de faire genre son trafic de drogue, ça sera pour le bien du peuple, quoi. Lol.
We're way past specific union members now. This is the big time. You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But
There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big-time mode.
great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union.
Putain, son ton est empreint de tissus.
This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open. Most certainly, Harry. By all means, I'm always happy to educate. Very nice.
Wow, so someone's been a little boring.
Quoi?
Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown.
Est-ce que décline en brun? Peut-être très peu pour moi. Je fais mon travail, d'accord, ça sert à rien de jouer l'extravagant.
Of course you do. Let's get right to it. My lord's copper type is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send out a telefax.
Pourquoi pas envoyer les fax? Je sais mes choix. Une seconde, ça va être mon profil de flic désormais?
Yes, the type of cop you are, sire. Think of it as a caste, a class even, a nation of regular law officials that you've done and done. No actual communiques will be sent, of course. Bringing of the law.
La keuf! Le keuf et sa drôle de gueule.
Okay, so we now know why you have law jaw. Why you say the law in a weird manner. And why your jaw does that thing. You had polio as a child. You hadn't gotten vaccinated. It must have been right after the revolution. Not a lot of vaccine going around then. So you got infantile paralysis due to polio, and this jaw thing is a complication from that. Admittedly, it's not very funny, but you overcame it. This little infant survived and became a sharp
Ouais, va chier, saloperie de polio.
Fuck you, polio.
Fuck you, polio. Coordination vasculaire réussie de tous les lancers passifs. Et celui d'apprentissage, je passe à 6. Par contre, j'ai perdu 1 en rhétorique. Ah, mais je peux l'arrêter. Ah, bah voilà. Ok, d'accord.
Yes.
Sortons, sortons. Où est-ce qu'il y avait un... Ah oui, si, c'est bon, ok. Le cadavre, bah la glacière. La vendeuse de drogue aussi. Bon, pendant qu'on est à faire le truc de drogue. C'est vrai que je peux juste mettre en pause, mais
This screen found A to Z.
instrument physique. Bah attendez, du coup, faut que je remonte. Bon, je crois que j'ai avec ça.
This screen found A to Z. Pry bar in hand. You take a hard swing at the window. A loud goddamn maggot. Drag looks like the window might be shatterproof. You may have to rethink your approach.
Ouais, c'est comme
Another
ça.
futile thunk.
This has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
He smashes it into the window. Droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement.
Joli.
You can just...
It went better than I expected. Open it.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the... There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be.
Bien les posters. Les
These
posters.
are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
Donc vous observez la pin-up.
The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bare.
Une épaule dénudée.
The faded remains of an autograph
Oh, la pin-up.
run across the... This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
Je suis arrivé.
She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here, on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world, and the camera, too. The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably
Granat number 5.
the actresses and the rear actor enclosed.
We definitely need to return sometime later.
Oui, non, mais je suis d'accord. Juste remettre ça. C'est combien 3. Ah putain. Présentation de la loi ordinaire. Bon, vous avez visiblement un peu de normalité en vous, un soupçon d'ordinaire. 4 grammes de monsieur tout le monde. Qui le crut vous le plus extrême de tous les flics. Vous avez dit des choses très ennuyeuses et à présent vous voilà confronté à 2 choix. Oubliez tout ça ou essayez d'utiliser votre normalité, de l'assimiler, d'ajouter une touche de vanille à la glace aux œufs de hareng et à la réglisse qui forme votre esprit. Bon, 2 en cours intérieur. Non. Il y a des milliards de trucs. Clandestinité, homosexualité, homosexuel. D'où de la touche d'injection. Koldomamamadaka. Monde précaire, jamais vu. Failli. Oh là là, il y a trop de trucs. Là, je peux remonter quoi
A lorry abandoned. The smell of cigarettes. There's something odd.
Oui,
It
il a
looks
raison.
like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key...
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100.
It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together.
Speed radio, elle a été enregistrée.
No, that's on 78.9. What? I happen to have committed the frequency to memory. I have no problem admitting that.
À quoi sert d'enregistrer autant de stations?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range too.
A 20-kilometer radius at least. Perhaps extended by an attachable antenna.
Peut-être quelque chose qu'on puisse faire avec cette radio.
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
C'est autre chose d'intéressant.
Ghostly actresses.
Vous avez mis les
You
pédales.
wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here. A hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Apparemment, la convection, ça colle un bout de papier de verre à l'accélérateur pour éviter de glisser sur la pédale.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
C'est original. Peut-être verre a aussi fait disparaître le dessin sous la semelle de la botte droite du conducteur.
Yes.
Ah, donc notre 8ème, c'est elle notre 8ème, celle au pas léger. Crime pesait une anomalie, l'une des semelles était plus lisse que l'autre.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
Sur le 8ème hardi, ici.
Looks like her, yes.
Elle dirige aussi le trafic de drogue, elle a osé du fédérateur celle-là. Les femmes et leurs combines.
Now we know for certain who is the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
À mon avis, le syndicat de Soussier trempe dans l'affaire, voire toute la ville de Martinez. Ça corroborait ce que nous a dit Joyce, mais je voudrais pas tirer de conclusion hâtive.
We should talk with Titus, see what he's got to say on the matter. Are we finished with the lorry?
The movie stars are still smiling from the
Enlevez la housse sur le siège du passager.
Voila. A stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. It's Revachol. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen.
Bonne prise.
Oh, il va parler français quoi. Bonne prise. Oui, la carte bio.
This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's a toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway. There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881. High above the mess of brown and red roofs, that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world sees to Kuron, through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road.
Voilà la deuxième carte.
This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, old military hospital, right adjacent to the 41st precinct.
Troisième carte.
The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain and a traffic island. These service tunnels were probably used during the construction of the foundation, but looks like the smugglers have infiltrated the road network belonging to East Motor Tract.
Les contrebandiers ont infiltré East Motor Tract.
So it would seem. The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them.
Jusqu'où c'est la distribution?
Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the Besmerti behind it.
Si on va voir bon sinon quelque part.
The Besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revacholian Indo-tribes. But really they're just violent gangs vying for control on with cool names like La Puta Madre and Aura Masta. It's a dark parody.
Comment se résout d'après vous?
It's definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then here's bad news. They
T'es un
have
affreux Jojo.
set a serious investigation before, but they haven't ended well for those involved.
Ah, yes.
Best not to disturb the scene. I'll have forensics go over the lorry and pick these up.
The stack of maps looks just
Tirer la boîte au tir est
a
acteur.
metallic drawer slides out from the seat.
Multiplier le journal.
It's an issue of Petty Ferric from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out toolbox must enclose the rusty...
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to...
Bien sûr.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
C'est un mec pour la police, qu'en pensez-vous, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged...
This means it's well-funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. Oh, and the maps we found. They reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
Quel rôle le poster de film? Rien. Hein.
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
Il représentait beaucoup de femmes, surtout pour la cabine d'une conductrice. Peut-être cette sorte de cinéphile. L'industrie cinématographique pourrait être impliquée, exactement. C'est eux qui doivent fournir la drogue à tous les artistes.
Yes, well.
Et bah, voilà. C'est vrai, parmi les trois, c'était la réponse ça fait beaucoup de femmes pour une femme. Wink, wink. C'est bon.
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them, to other ends, as extra ammunition.
Meaning, someone as slippery as Ephra won't be caught by a couple of cops and some stuff they found in some cabin.
Là, t'es vraiment une quête.
We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't.
C'est que c'est signe de corruption.
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
Ok, débriefing terminé.
Debrief over.
Tenez voir Joyce et compter la bande à Hardy à propos du trafic de drogue. J'ai remis mes affaires, ouais.
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble?
Le fâcheux a dit où se trouvait la cabine, on l'a fouillé, c'est tout.
Still better than me, I guess. Told you there's plenty of others who tell on her. But is she in trouble?
Je peux pas révéler de détails sur l'affaire encore.
It's that bad. Man, what should I do?
Pas la peine de donner cette peine, ne saute pas, la police est sur le coup.
Yeah, maybe I should just keep my head down and work on my rhymes while I can.
Une question en fait.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
J'ai balancé un poème en pleine poire.
Your best verse. You.
That's brutal, man.
No, stop. He's already mortified.
Non, Tommy, écoute un peu ces rimes. Elle m'a baisé jusqu'à l'os.
That's
Ah oui.
In the name of God, what are you doing?
Mais j'ai fait un échec critique! Putain, j'ai fait 12, il fallait faire 13. Avec mes dés, j'ai fait un 1. Putain de 1 de merde.
Yeah, I get that, and it's cool, but yeah, I get it.
He's not lying.
Yes, and I also thank you.
Je suis désolé. Je partage pas ce qu'il dit. Il a juste raté un lancer de dés. Hein.
I've got nothing to.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
J'ai autre question, Titus. Mais quoi, j'ai établi un lien entre vous et un trafic de drogue
Like
local.
hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock.
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprints. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de...
The thought forms in your head, like a lightning strike branching in the
Mais
sky.
personne ici ne fait du trafic de... excepté vous. Non. Non, vous les avez... à bonheur, vous l'avez mérité. Faire un signe de tête au lieutenant.
Thank you. You're right, Titus. There is no local drug trade because it's all controlled by you. You're the drug trade.
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would...
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get...
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly.
Ouais,
For the good of
hardy
the
men.
community, of course.
Mais l'idée, les gens continuent toujours de se droguer. Au moins, de cette manière, vous contrôlez les choses. Ouais, non, mais y a pas d'histoire de contrôler. Ils sont juste là pour se faire de la thune, quoi. Il n'y a pas de contrôle des drogues. Ouais, continuez de vous mentir. Je sais de façon certaine que le coin déborde de cam.
Boo fucking who. People will always be.
Yeah, that's what the labor movement is all about. Clean and organized. And the hardy...
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is... How dare you? Go fuck yourself.
Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardy boys here.
Le 8e mardi. Celle qui manque. Celle qui mène la marque, n'est-ce pas?
My answer is... Fuck off. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn scene.
Berceau d'illusion.
And here we go. Back to the usual.
I know! Fatty walked on all fours. He's so fucking fat he left 2 sets of foot.
Despite everything, the little man...
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all fours. Anything else you need to know?
Oh là là, autorité 0. Yes. Je vais monter un tout petit peu en autorité, même si je suis qu'à 2. Il me manque quoi pour toutes les pièces? J'ai les gants, les chaussures, la chemise, le pantalon. Le pantalon. Le pantalon. Ah si, on peut aller là, tiens.
This orange machine is but you slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip.
Didn't Sona give you a perfect tool for this kind of job?
Ah oui, mais je l'ai dans les mains.
Equip the multi-tool by going to the Tools tab in your...
Oui. Ah merde, j'ai équipé la boombox. Ok, con.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine.
J'ai quand même que 28%.
A hand-cranked ice squeaks beneath your Kavalzun multi-tool, but your fingers unplugging the ice cream maker will allow it to defrost. 2 cables are plugged into the breaker box.
What are you doing? We need the fridge for the body.
Something close to you dies with a...
Very smart. Opening the lid should be much easier after the ice cream maker.
Ouais, du coup, faut qu'on revienne demain, du coup.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an ice groans and howls under the strain of your darkness lies inside. But you can faintly make out an object, intricate and foreign. Left there, you gently lift the cube from its frosty bedding.
We should take it back to Miss Lucan and killed as soon as...
Yes, but aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament?
C'est vrai. Et mais Kim a raison. Ça me ferait bien chier que il se pète le truc. Tu peux l'intriguer par le fait qu'il n'y ait pas de bruit à un endroit dans l'église, quoi.
Yes, what is it? Yes? Thanks. Looks like it's the one.
Pourquoi c'est du problème?
Now I'm going to print it out to see what's left of it. I have a theory. Lintel was able to divine the location of the anomaly from this broken copy. I want to repeat their calculation on watch. What an intricate display of failure.
The paper starts filling out with ink, soaking it in a gleam. This is wrong. Machines shouldn't behave.
Le jeu est cool. Alors?
Sona doesn't reply. Her hands running over the printout. She's looking for...
Here. I found it.
Où ça?
Hold on.
Elle s'active sur le clavier tapant de nombreux de noms qu'elle seule comprend. Le terminal est bien un bip. Et la lumière interne bat comme un cœur lumineux. Ça peut me rendre utile.
Just give me a second. I'm almost...
Elle tape à toute vitesse.
I've never witnessed a programmer work before.
Moi aussi. Moi aussi, Kim.
Done. I've got it. I found the location of the anomaly.
Il y a une joie manifeste dans sa voix tandis qu'elle brandit son poing en l'air. Ouais, moi aussi j'aime brandir mon poing en l'air. Vous avez réussi, vous avez trouvé les coordonnées? Bon sang, c'est magnifique.
Thank you.
Du coup, où est-ce qu'il se trouve le trou de 2 mm dans le monde?
In the swallow.
Elle désigne l'autre côté de l'église où un ensemble de bols d'eau forme une arche
again?
cérémonielle. Ouais, bien sûr.
I need you to go move those water bowls for me.
What an interesting proposition. Truly a task for the intellectuals.
Ah bah oui, ça marche. Je vais résoudre cette énigme intellectuelle. J'adore faire travailler mes
Figure
neurones.
it out? No. I don't need you to figure anything. Just walk over to the circle and follow my instructions. Move the third pole 2 centimeters to the left and the fourth pole 5 centimeters to the right. This should do the trick.
Mais c'est lequel le premier? Le troisième à 2 et le 4 à 5.
What? She only wants you to follow instructions. Nothing intellectually. Yes, but you like moving things around. Moving things around is calming.
Thanks.
Non, mais je bats pas un ordinateur au niveau intellectuel, je pense. Hein. Mais c'est quoi le 2-2-3 et le 4-2-5. Mais c'est quoi le 2? C'est le 2?
It's awfully silent again, as if someone turned off the measurements have been marked down around the bowls. Oh boy, this is going to be good. It moves like a ghost. This task is an insult to your mental skills.
Je sais que Trémassine en partant à gauche.
Some water spills out of the lead programmer sends you and time to run back or maybe walk. This is a
Je cours moi.
Yes, what is it?
J'ai pensé que j'ai dû laisser des neurones. C'est quoi la
Great.
suite?
Everything should be aligned now.
Que se passe-t-il?
Yeah, nothing. Now if we got the location right, we should then be able to hear whatever sound this anomaly makes.
Mais cette anomalie, elle empêche pas plutôt le son de partir? Genre c'est un mini trou noir? Genre on a un mini trou noir, mais seulement du son? Et attendez, une seconde pour que votre casque était sur silencieux.
Honestly, I'm a little scared.
Il y aura du silence, rien de plus, pas vrai?
I don't know. That's what I'm scared of. I don't know. I mean, what sound does the nothing make? How can you even listen to something that doesn't exist?
Ouh là là.
What if silence is only what surrounds it, but the swallow itself is...
Son visage s'estompe et son visage pâlit dans la lumière crue de l'électricité. Quoi?
I don't know. I'm just scared. Maybe it's going to be...
like that evil ink that filled the printout, erasing coherence and meaning.
Vous prenez trop la tête.
Maybe. Maybe I'm just tired.
Let's think about this logically. Why would nothing be terrifying if it's, well,
Pourquoi pars-tu du principe qu'une
nothing?
chose dépourvue de présence, d'existence et de caractéristiques est forcément terrifiante?
Because it reminds us of death. And we humans tend to think that death is pretty scary.
C'est juste un autre état. La peur, ça s'affronte.
Yeah. You're right. Let's do it.
Il enfile son casque surdimensionné et s'apprête à appuyer sur le bouton du clavier pour remettre le
The
son.
lieutenant takes a step, and then nothing. Nothing happens. As Sona Lokanen Kilda presses unmute on her keyboard. Nothing but silence. You can hear some small animal cross the floor in the chancel. It's that quiet in the sanctuary. She doesn't talk. Her eyes closed and brows knitted together in a state of deep focus. One hand cupping the headphone.
Damn it.
Elle pose un long soupir avant d'arracher son casque. Elle évite toujours votre rire. Au moins le monde ne s'est pas effondré.
Yeah. Nothing happened. Let's move on.
Despite her fear, she was hoping for something extraordinary to take place.
Vous avez trouvé l'absorption?
No.
Elle pose la main sur son visage en se massant le front.
No. My hypothesis was wrong. According to this, I should have heard something if I got the coordinates right. Like I said, silence is only what surrounds it. But this is just another failure. Silence sounds like silence. That's all it is. You can try on the headphones. See if you can hear anything.
This can't be it. You should have a listen.
Perception. Oui, 6. Vous avez participé au mix d'Egghead. Du coup, j'ai gagné plus 1. Lol. Putain. Légendaire. 14. 58%. Est-ce que j'ai quelque chose pour augmenter ma perception? Ouais, j'ai plus 1 partout. Quoi. Perception, oui. C'est perception quand même, quoi. J'ai rien pour améliorer. On va devoir y aller en modulo.
What is it?
All you hear is your own breathing, heavy and hoarse from all the nights spent drinking.
J'ai fait un vieux lancer de merde en plus. J'ai fait 4 et 1 quoi, vraiment.
But there's something else. There has to be something big. Something. When was the last time this world had anything new to say?
Oh, même ma conceptualisation elle a raté quoi.
Well, did you hear anything?
Non du tout.
Yeah. No.
The lieutenant looks down at the floor. Maybe the speed freaks can help you with this. Go talk with Andre.
Je vais voir André.
The large-headed youth.
Good morning, comrade. Yeah!
Yeah! Remix time! Tape goes here, into deck B.
A hand on his ear. He.
Wow! Did you get this from Arno himself?
Qu'est-ce que vous voulez dire?
Listen, I'm just going to show it to you. Ready?
Are you ready? C'est très musical aujourd'hui. Ça fait très disco quand même.
Wow! Here's that! The signs match perfectly! Now if only we had the beat for the full assault, it would be
Intriguing. The way I see it, Van Eyck based his remix on some famous original piece. Like a folk song. Something low.
I think it's just happenstance. Chaos in action. Contingencies of our limited existence. That and Egghead's fantastic talent.
Fiancer une tête à son huile derrière les balles
Lloyd's
platines.
right. Egghead's technical talent. No. This is definitely part of the same song. Something cut from it. It fits too well.
Tout ça juste un coup de chance, mais c'est aussi grâce à l'incroyable talent de mixeur d'Egghead.
be how it may. If it fits, it fits.
What about the bass? Do you have any ideas for that?
Merde, j'ai oublié de remettre ça. Arno Van Eyck. Plus 1 en affinité mécanique. Cette question va vous voter. Pourquoi la mélodie d'une bande cassée et abandonnée correspond-elle parfaitement à la chanson jouée par un camé au speed sous une tente gelée? Ne serait-ce une coïncidence? Peut-être est-ce la main de l'homme-machine en personne dans la tentative d'écrire la chanson ultime? Ou bien Egghead est vraiment Arno Van Eyck déguisé? Egg. Intériorisons, 50 minutes. Ouais.
Yeah, I remember. You said it needs more bass.
Honnêtement, rien ne vient. Mais je vais voir si je peux trouver une solution au bout du compte.
Don't be too hard on yourself if you don't figure it out.
But it could be hyper.
Ça peut vous prendre du temps.
The large.
Good morning, comrade. Yeah!
André!
Hi again. So, yes? What's the deal?
J'ai vu, mais la situation évolue lentement. C'est une galère avec ses recherches.
Kind of a hitch?
Il a capté une anomalie en configurant son micro d'une certaine façon, mais elle n'entend rien dans son casque.
Audio shortfall, you say? Guess what? We got speakers with massive low end.
They've got one speaker. One. Uno.
We've got some serious range on this baby. It'll blast the chute. Goodbye, officer.
Que je veux dire? On a une grosse basse. Est-ce que tu la veux? La VOD de l'infini. Désolé YouTube. Hein. T'inquiète pas. C'est juste que j'ai la flemme de m'arrêter sur cette fin de quête quoi.
What is it?
Everything disappears. You are draped in silence like a drowning man staring, and then the pressure changes. It feels like flying on an aerostatic, or when your ears pop, or like a subtle difference in the atmosphere. What if the sound you're looking for is too low for you to hear it?
Tonnerre, peut-être qu'il nous faut simplement une meilleure chaîne
A
stéréo.
better sound system? All right, but where would we...
Suddenly, a rhythmic beat permeates the walls, causing a small...
They should really allocate some renovation funds to this place.
No. What they really should do is shut down the disco men for disturbing neighborhood peace.
Et pour nous aider avec les haut-parleurs.
You mean the speed freaks?
C'est que la musique en licence du...
Of course. The speed freaks. They have a fantastic...
Vous aideront volontiers si vous les autorisez à aménager
I
ici.
guess I could live through a week or two of peaceful coexistence.
Parfait, je vais leur toucher,
Sure.
deux mots.
Let me know how it goes.
Oh, cette méga quête de la mort, c'est une double quête en fait. C'est une double quête liée. Pour essayer de savoir quel bruit ça fait, le silence absolu.
Hi again. So, yes?
Bonne nouvelle, j'ai réussi à convaincre Sona. Elle veut bien que vous aménagiez, mais à une condition que vous lui prêtez vos haut-parleurs pour son projet.
Grateful, Copman. You're an augury of a new era of anodic dance music.
Acclamez souris, vous ne l'aurez jamais vu aussi en jouer. Il va falloir cohabiter une quinzaine de jours le temps qu'elle boucle ses recherches.
That's fine. We can manage, and you're still sure about keeping our little side business, right?
Tout bien réfléchi. Ah oui, le labo de règles légales, non toujours pas. Pas question de tromper dans une affaire louche. L'église ne prendra que l'amour et l'anodie danse musique. Oh! Qu'est-ce que je t'ai déjà dit là? Je t'ai pas emmené au poste pour que tu montes juste ta discothèque. Alors tu te calmes tout de suite. Pas de drogue. Pas de drogue dans ma ville. Pas de drogue dans ma ville. La loi c'est moi.
Fine. We can make do. It's going to take us a bit to move our stuff inside. A couple of hours maybe. Come check back later. Let's get moving.
D'ici 2 heures, ils ont dit. Voilà. On a tout fini avec le cadavre. Les tatouages de la victime. Mais bon...
Yeah, it's all set up, man. Can you already imagine 1,000 people in here? 10,000! Ecstatic vibrations, totally transcendent. And I've finished setting up the new compressor too. Now the only thing left to do is the name of the club. Will you do the honors, detective?
Qui nous a une idée pour un nom de discothèque?
I wouldn't build a club and I wouldn't name it either.
An underground place with no name?
We're not going with anything the Crabman would say.
Why not? The Crabman has ideas.
I don't care. I don't like the Crabman, and I don't like his ideas.
La selle, t'as une idée?
His ideas are spooky. How about something simple, like the club?
Non. Trop simple.
Too modern and too ironic. We don't want ironic. We want real. Real and true and beautiful. Like a morning after the rave.
Eged?
Yakokata! Yakokata! The place to be!
Non.
Yeko Qatar, the zone of ecological catastrophe. That's two more.
Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega!
No, it has to be bigger than hardcore. Yes, it has to be even bigger than hardcore to the mega. It has to be bigger than the scene.
Noid.
The amnesia.
Like the... I can't remember the name of the club, Amnesia.
Amnesia!
It's not amnesia, guys.
Voilà. Tiens, qu'est-ce que vous en pensez?
I don't. Good. We have too many opinions anyway.
André?
The name. Everything I managed to come up with sounds just wrong.
Andre's overthinking it.
Yes, you should do it, detective. It would be good for the sign. Noid's right. You have? Well, what's the name?
Je pense que vous n'avez même pas besoin de lire dans mes pensées. Il y a littéralement le titre du jeu dans les propositions. Même, on a appris dans le lore que le Disco Elysium, c'est le Valhalla du disco.
Like that DeLorean word for the world, you mean? Elysium.
But Disco Elysium? Isn't it wacky? Disco's kind of gone.
The past is the future, but the future is dead.
No, it's beautiful. Beautiful and brave. Like we want it to be. And short. And memorable.
It's settled then. Everyone welcome to Disco Elysium.
Andre breaks into frenzied dance-like motion to celebrate the name.
Qu'est-ce que tu fais, André?
I'm dancing.
Oh, magnifique.
That soft core gyrating is supposed to be dancing.
Et ta prétendance, on en parle?
Yes, my man.
Ces gestes en jeu s'inscrivent dans les lumières stroboscopiques de la discothèque.
Talk? What is there to talk about if you can express yourself? Audio waves thump against your rib cage. The speaker setup makes everything sound much better, but the beat is still so weak.
C'est quoi le trip avec ta coupe de cheveux?
It's to express my individuality.
Is that a bald spot? It's hard to tell for sure with the fused together spikes, but it looks like he's balding.
Je comprends. C'est quelque chose qui me fait peur, donc je te comprends.
Maybe it was a bad idea. Anyway.
J'ai beau avoir... J'ai beau avoir 5 en mise en scène, j'ai 8% de chance d'y arriver.
Goodbye.
Est-ce que j'ai un truc qui m'emmène... non, j'ai un qui... Bah là je perds de la mise en scène, donc non.
Oh hey man, it's good to see you.
Bah c'est 8%. Ah, mais...
Close your eyes and dream of the shapes your body should form to bring this strange music into life. For now, such ferocity of motion is beyond you.
Il a fallu faire un bon lancer quand même.
But just imagine the moves you could pull.
Puts a grin on your face just to think about it. Even a failed attempt gets the juices flowing and repairs some of the damage done by battles lost.
Goodbye.
She's whistling a melody, her trusty contact mic attached to a wooden pipe.
Hey there. I've been recording some new audio from all these beams and rafters. The sounds travelling through the wood are pretty cool. Creaks and stuff. And yes, I'm being more like Contact Mike, alright? Don't even bring it up.
D'accord.
I really wanted to say, thanks for getting me and my friends in here. And we even found some new associates, such as they are.
Tout le monde va bien?
Good, I think. Noid is getting a read on the place. I think he finds the carpentry very impressive. Andre's been setting up the compressor and dancing. Egghead's been keeping the party up. He's got Sauna, the programmer. She's doing whatever she does. Behind that radio computer of hers. She doesn't talk to us much.
Et le crabe vous fera pas
And the
chier.
crab man, Hasn't shown himself, thank God.
Tu veux pas être tes associés maintenant?
Sure. You helped us out. I can repay the favor. What do you want to know?
Parle-moi de Suna. Bah, Suna, je la connais pas.
Ah, she's a bit odd, I have to say. Doesn't talk much. I'm not really sure how to vibe with her, you know? But earlier today, she told me about Welkins. And she seemed oddly happy, like she had some idea with those little creatures. Some artistic idea. I didn't really listen, I was busy with my mic.
Thiago?
Oh, the crab man. Still gives me the creeps the way he moves. But he doesn't actually come. I just tried to stay away from the crab man. But he talks to Noid. They seem to have some thing going on.
Pourquoi faire?
Beats me. Noid said they get along somehow. They're both crazy enough, I guess.
Qu'est-ce qu'il fait là-haut?
Who knows? He doesn't really answer our questions, see? Not that it's easy to ask them. Who do you want to know about?
André?
Andre? He's a cool guy. Doesn't really come off as one, but he takes care of shit. Sorry. I mean, he's got a vision. For what life should be, you know? He tries to push things until everything falls into place. He's an organizer.
Qu'est-il organisé?
Nothing. But then again, there's nothing to organise around here either. He must have taken it as a sign when he found it abandoned like that. Said it was an augury. I don't know where he got that from. Andre's not super intelligent. I've never seen him so psyched about anything though. And he's often psyched. Looks sort of desperate, like it's his... I mean, not that he does drugs, just high, you know?
Sur la vie? Sur l'amour de sa mère?
Yes. Anyway.
Il commence à se dégarnir peut-être, c'est pour ça il pense que c'est la chance.
Come to think of it, yeah. He's in some kind of a self-destruction mode with that hair of his. Bleaching it like that. Probably wants to get rid of it altogether.
Est-ce que André est ton petit ami?
Yes.
Who
do you want to know about?
Noid?
He's a four-burger, I guess, like the rest of us. Okay, maybe not Egg, I don't know about him, but Noid and the rest are from Forberg, making the pilgrimage up north to visit the Palaceum. He's real hardcore about the lifestyle.
Qu'est-ce qu'il fait?
What do you mean do? Like for a living?
Oui.
He's a carpenter, trained and all. He's very good, he just doesn't have the mindset to work like that. In a shop somewhere.
C'est pour ça qu'il aime bien.
He abides by the hardcore, sir. You would have to ask him yourself.
Et toi?
Sir, I abide by the law.
C'est quoi ce pèlerinage dont tu
It's
parles?
just something poor Forberg kids do every spring. To pass the time, we walk the entire length of Boogie Street, up to Jamrock, or as much as possible.
Pourquoi ce serait pas possible?
I don't know, man. Have you been down Boogie Street? It's a little bewildering.
Attends, je ne suis pas allé sur Book Street. On va éviter de lui dire.
Then you should go and take a look, I guess. Boogie Street is cool. It's got a lot of immigrants and all kinds of different people.
J'aimerais bien faire ça si j'arrive vivant.
Yeah. I hope you do. Who do you want to know about?
C'est quoi le problème de Egghead?
What do you mean?
Pourquoi il gueule tous ces trucs?
Oh, that. He's the party boy.
C'est quoi un festoyeur?
And Nordic music doesn't really do vocals in the traditional sense. Vocals are thought of as rock. That's to say they're a bit backward. No offense.
Pachoo, Swish. Your credentials as the resident future man of Revachol are being questioned. Show her you're hip with the times, Gramps.
Mais putain, carrément, le music rock est plus cool de tout, vive le rock.
Okay. Anyway, even if you don't have vocals,
non,
you
mais
still
pas-
need someone to say something every now
disco,
and
moi.
then, right? To urge things on. That's where the party boy comes in. He basically just stands on the stage and dances and yells how awesome everything is.
I understand. People are usually afraid to do things if others aren't already doing them. Dancing makes you dance, like sneezing makes you sneeze, or yawning. Anyway.
J'ai combien de temps de traîner avec vous?
Actually, we don't know where he's from, or who he is really.
Quoi? Genre, il est apparu comme ça, à un moment, genre, on dormait tous et... Cachou, elle a apparu.
One time we were out partying somewhere in backwater Forberg, or maybe even Coal City. I can't remember.
The worst of the banlieues. A wretched heap of closed-down mines, even west of Jamrock, on the dusty slope of Montmartin, the remotest possible area of Revachol. No one even...
Egg was yelling along to some jam someone was spinning, all night long. Just kept yelling until he didn't have a shred of voice left. When the sun came up over the mines, Egg came with us. He made this wheezing puppy dog sound all the way back. It was definitely Coal City, because it took us 2 days to walk back to the fort. He just wheezed the whole way. We never really asked why he came with us, or who he was. I think his name is Jermaine. People are sweet.
You can see it must have been a great night. The memory causes her to go silent for a moment.
Who do you want to know about?
Parle-moi de toi.
Me? Again?
Oui, j'ai oublié, parle-moi de toi.
I told you, I'm a silver...
There's that phrase again. Really reminds you of something.
It means I don't answer questions about myself. Is there a law that would stop...
That would depend on the circumstances.
Thank you. Sure.
Code gestionnaire enquêteur à plume.
Anna Van Eyck. Okay, so Egghead is clearly not Van Eyck in disguise. Van Eyck is an Oranese disc jockey, but those people get around, especially in Revachol, in the clubs on Boogie Street. Perhaps he stayed here for a short stint and discarded part of the song he was working on, just threw it away, and then it ended up in the hawthorn tree. But why? Did he think it was retrograde? It wasn't. Perhaps he caught a glimpse of the future and did not want for it to arrive just yet. Perhaps the city whispered the top line to him, and he was frightened by it.
Dévoile les affiches de concerts d'Arnaud Vanik à travers le monde. C'est quoi ces réactivités qu'il faut que je monte là? Tiens, boum, déjà. On n'a pas ça. Je sais pas appris par cœur, j'arrive pas à apprendre par cœur, mais putain de... J'ai mis un bonnet.
Welcome back.
Lol. À quel moment mon putain de...
O Passaro de Argent. It flutters by your ear.
El Passaro de Argent.
It's what the Zemoyaki, the Gradian community in Revachol, call a person who never breaks under interrogation. It's an organized crime term.
Excuse me?
She's attempting to remain calm, but the phrase made her flinch.
Terme employé par les Zemlakis pour désigner une personne qui ne craque pas pendant l'interrogation. C'est de l'argot propre à la pègre.
What do you mean?
Deux argent.
All right. My father was a Zemyaki. He died years ago. He was a bad man. Not a lot of good things to say about him and what he did. He bought the family a huge house, so we got to live, at least temporarily, in a giant castle in Jamrock. And then he died.
Passez ensuite.
What do you think? The competition came and took everything away. It was like in a war. So after his death, we had nothing left, and we were in danger. My mother had to change her name, mine too. We left it all behind.
Bien sûr, qu'en est-il du labo Greg?
It was a stupid idea, and I'm still...
Aren't there any local authorities who might look down on such activities?
I took that into account, of course. Coordinated the operation with the débardeurs. Else they might get unhappy.
Vraiment, t'as jamais son accord?
Not in person, but I'll let them know. You can't do anything without the fat ones getting wind. It wasn't too... It's a good thing you ended that mess, though. I felt I was turning Dadwise into a corrupt business person. Unpleasant.
Come on, this is all fine. But you don't have anything on Everard now. That's not how these things work.
No, I don't think it would lead anywhere with Evra.
Yeah. Have you seen Evra?
Non, faut pas le faire. Il vient de me dire qu'il faut pas le faire. On va peut-être arrêter, il va faire 4 heures là. Bon, on continuera à interroger les autres personnes plus tard. Il y a encore 8000 trucs à faire là. Sauvegardons. Voilà. On les a fait emménager dans l'église. Voilà. Maintenant, le reste appartient au futur. Voilà, voilà. Bon, au revoir YouTube. Désolé pour cette VOD qui dure 3h40. Pouf. Allez, bon courage. Hein. Au revoir.